A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade, emoção, tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
What's up, everybody? Oh my goodness. Talk about a waiting period and taking it to the very end. What's up, everybody? My name is Manny Vargas, and with me is Teza McKenna. We're going to bring you the live feed of round number 1 here on the first stop on the WGS on the APB World Tour. It is the Itacoatiara PRO. Teza, but before we get anything started, we got to give a moment of silence for one of our own, Mr. Tom Wilson.
Yeah, you betcha. So we'll try and bring a photo of Tom up. Of course, Tom recently lost his battle. He was in hospital for about 12 months. Tom, of course, Tom Wilson is the development manager of the APB. He did some fantastic things. Really great guy. His heart was in bodyboarding for 30, 35 years. There's a picture of Tom on screen at the moment, and Manny, you got to spend a bit of time with Tom Wilson as well.
You know what? It was at the time we don't realize how special these moments are when we're with people who are right next to us, but then when they're gone, it's like, dang, I wish we could have that back.
Absolutely. So on behalf of all bodyboarders worldwide, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude for all the hard work, dedication and vision that Tom Wilson put towards the sport he loved so much over the last 30 years. I knew Tom personally for about 30 years myself. He had a brilliant mind. He was a funny guy, and his memory will live on in our hearts forever.
Yeah, no, I loved when he cracked some jokes and made us all laugh. So, Tom, we hope you're watching. We're watching you. Prayers to friends and family. Let's get this show underway. This is it, the Itacoatiara PRO. Man, to get to this point, the riders are absolutely going crazy, and they're beyond anxious.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've been on hold the whole time that we've been here. Here's a little view of Pumpo, of course, the southern end of the beach here at Itacoatiara. We're just starting to see the first signs of a new swell. Of course, tomorrow is the final day of the waiting period. It looks like we've got some better waves tomorrow, but many of the riders had a meeting here this morning, and they had two options. Basically, one was let's wait for more swell tomorrow, and it will be an elimination round right from heat number 1, or we could start here today and we could have an elimination round or a repechage round tomorrow. So the riders all voted pretty much unanimously to surf today. It's not ideal. This is not the kind of stuff we've been waiting for, but we're just clearing the area down there. You can see competitors just starting to warm up. So hopefully we'll see that swell rolling a little more throughout the day. But this is Mother Nature. It's completely out of our hands, and it's up to the big guy in the sky. So we're just trying to deal with the elements here today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a rising swell on our hands, so we're hoping to take full advantage of that all day tomorrow. But to be able to do that, we do need to crack the whip and start the progression right now.
Yeah, that's right. And everyone's just so anxious to get the competition underway. This is the first of our Grand Slam events. Looks like someone's got their phone on in the area back there.
Yes.
But so it's the first of the Grand Slam events for 2019. Of course, What will happen is we've got 5 Grand Slam events. The best 3 of them will count, and it'll be combined now with the best single quest event. There's also been some changes, Manny, to the way the ratings are structured. We're now going back to about 2009, 2010, when we used what we referred to as a One World Tour ranking. It means that the trials for this event will no longer act as a standalone quest event. And part of the reason for that, we got some feedback from the riders. They said, look, there's a lot of points that you can gain from these trials, and keep in mind that the best guys in the world are already in the main event, so they're not in that contest. So at the end of the day, the best decision for Craig Haddon and all the guys at the APB was to go back to a One World ranking. And so it's best 3 Grand Slams and the best single quest event for 2019.
Yeah, so right now we're on standby. I think they're just clearing out the water a little bit more, getting situated down at Pompo, which is on the other side of the beach, on the southern side. Am I right?
That's right.
I get confused because I'm from the west coast of the United States, and here we are on the east coast of South America. So I'm I get confused. But yes, to the south side, they are getting ready at Pompo. And the way this beach is set up, the swells move in one direction, move all the sand. The last swell moved to all the sand where they are situated right now, which is perfect. Because the swell coming in overnight is going to actually hit that rock and create a wedge. And you can see a little example right there of what is possible at bigger size. I mean, right now you're looking at 3 foot, but later on we are going to see bigger waves and into tomorrow.
Absolutely. The call for tomorrow was sort of 3 to 5 feet with 6 to 7 feet in the afternoon. So, but have a look at it. It's Itacoatiara, and we've effectively been having a holiday in paradise. It's a strange one because I've never really used this much of a waiting period and only served a half a day of trials. But it's a beautiful spot in Niterói, of course, on the northern side of Rio de Janeiro. You go across the big bridge, of which we had an incredible experience the other day with the bridge, Manny.
Oh, I know, that's right. One of our sponsors, Eco Ponte, of the Itacoatiara Pro, invited us along with a few of the other riders. World champion Sammy Morantino was there, and Gio was also present. He's the one that organized everything. But we got to the highest point of the bridge from Rio to Niterói, and I think it's like 4 miles long or 5 miles long. It's the 6th longest standalone bridge in the world, and we got to go underneath the bridge on this little platform that overlooked all of Rio, all of Niterói. And are you looking up some stats? He is looking up some stats on the bridge. But so everybody was trying to get things, just fill the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's a little view of the beach again, but heat number 1, once we get underway, and it's only moments away, will feature Sammy Morantino from Hawaii. She's been a great world champion. Sammy, he come to the bridge promo the other night. He comes to everything that we ask him to, and I tell you, his dad's watching back there in Hawaii. You can be very proud of Sammy. He's came all nicely dressed with his pressed shirt on the other day, and he's really like world championship material. He'll take on Maxime Castillo. Of course, the Frenchman has been in really good form leading into this contest. Josh Kirkman, of course, from Australia / everywhere. And
we have Marcelo Barros from Brazil. He's the 22-year-old out there right now against these, the veterans. But we're going to see what Marcelo has to offer in this first heat as well.
Absolutely. So 32 riders, 8 heats, 4 people in each heat, of course, using the 4-man priority system. Heat duration will be 25 minutes. And, of course, as per usual, will be the multiple peak scenario will be used for the interference rules, and it'll be 2 best waves tallied up. And whoever in those top 2 guys will jump straight through to round number 3. And this 3rd and 4th place getters will go into a repechage. Will be on tomorrow morning in some pretty good waves.
So they got 2 chances. They got 2 chances to get into that 3rd round. And if you don't make it, and you are in later in the day or tomorrow morning, you're going to have a little dab into the bigger swell.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we've got some great heats coming up, folks. Jump on to stackedapp.com, of course. You'll be able to find out all the information. Those heats are loaded up for round number 1 here at the Itacoatiara Pro.
So, everybody's been filling in their free time. There's right around Itacoatiara, there's 3 incredible hikes within, walking distance from your posada or your hostel or the inn here in Itacoatiara. The most popular one that's right over my shoulder is Costao, and that is on your screen on the left. that piece of granite comes straight out of the ocean, straight up. I'm not quite sure how high it goes up, but it's a pretty awesome hike, and it's totally doable by anyone. And everybody who's been waiting has gone up that at least once.
Yeah, that's right. Except for me. You know what? I was planning to do that today, but yesterday, Manny and I cruised on into Rio de Janeiro. We played Turista for a while and went and saw some pretty cool sights. Got some work done in the morning, of course, before we went out and enjoyed ourselves. But it's been a real kind of a touristic experience here in Brazil. Unlike, there it is there, Manny. That's a good shot of the headland. That's the northern headland, which has a really good left-hander, pretty much exactly like Box Beaks that rolls through when the swell comes. But yeah, Niterói, a beautiful part of the world here in Brazil.
And you can see how massive that rock is. You can see that people on the beach, and it's just incredible. The far end, the right side of that rock, you see people who actually rappel up that really steep section right there. So it's a pretty cool area to get in your hikes, to soak in the warm sand, the warm water, everything. But the riders, as well as our fans, have been waiting pretty much 11 full days for today to start, and we're still waiting. We're ready to rock here in the live studio, as you can see, but I'm wondering what's happening down at Pampo. And I'm looking at Stacked right now. If I'm not mistaken, the heat has started.
Okay, so let's go out into the water. We'll check out the action, folks. And we're just still setting up things here in Itacoatiara. There was just a bit of a snap decision made by the competitors here that they wanted to surf. To tell you the truth, Manny, I didn't think they were going to make the call because we thought there was better waves tomorrow. But the boys would rather have two opportunities to surf in a Grand Slam, and I respect them for that decision for sure.
Yeah, the other option was to go one full day with straight elimination for if we didn't run today. So they said, let's do this. We've been waiting as long as everybody else. Let's get out in the water. Let's get this show underway. So, Alejandro, we are ready to rock. Heat number 1 is underway. Again, Sammy Morantino, he's going to be in red. Maxime Castillo, he's been... he's staying in the same inn as we are, and he's got a little bit of focus. Here we go, out in the water, live action, nice, clean, extended roll from Sammy Morantino. Sammy Morantino, I don't know what is in his nutrition, but he is always going 100%.
Yeah, Sammy's a funny little kid. Actually came on the bridge experience with us the other day, and we found out that he's got a pretty bad fear of heights, along with myself and a few other guys. So we were all grouped together. But yeah, he's a great kid, and he's a dual world champion. In the drop knee division, as we're underway here, folks, for day number 1 of the Itacoatiara Pro. We're coming to you live from Niterói in the northern part of Rio de Janeiro, right across that big bridge that goes for 14 kilometres. Or 9 miles. It's one of the longest bridges in the world, and that's the lineup at the moment, Manny.
That's right. Okay, again, multiple world champion, Sammy Morantino, drop knee world champion. We got Maxime Castillo, who has yet to win a Grand Slam Series event, and hopefully that could happen here in this event. Josh Brigette-Kirkman, we all know him. He is now a veteran here on the world stage, and also the local rider from Brazil, Marcelo Barros. Actually, he's from a different state, but he's here competing with the international field.
Okay, so early days here, folks, on day number 1 of round number 1 at this first Grand Slam for 2019. Again, we'd love to hear from you people on Facebook and kind of interact with our online audience, find out what's happening.
Here we go. Marcelo looks like he just rode out of the screen. Marcelo, he's out there in the blue jersey. So the one thing in these situations, which I think most of the riders are going to be doing, you can see the scores up on your screen right now, but to get those that first wave quickly under your belt with 25 minutes, those minutes are going to zip right by if you don't get in a wave right off the bat.
Okay, so 25-minute heats, of course, coming up in the next heat. We've got some pretty good rounds coming our way. Some really interesting battles will be fought out here on the sands of Itacoatiara for our second last day of the waiting period. Of course, these Grand Slam events have a 10-day waiting period. We've used up 8 of them, so this is day number 9. Tomorrow will be our final day before we fly out for the next event. Of course, will be happening at the Bella Vista Bodyboard Pro down there in Iquique in Chile, where organisers are basically preparing for the world's best to come on down there and attack Punta Dos. Big shout out to some of the guys from Punta Dos, of course, Sati and all the local guys. Big shout out to you guys.
I can't tell you how excited I am to get back down to Iquique. Last time I was out there, I was for the ISA event a few years ago, and it was pretty awesome. But we were down, I'm not quite sure where we were, but we weren't at Punta Dos. We were way down the beach, and I'm excited to get to know a little better that side of the Iquique.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. I had a couple of weeks there, just about a couple of weeks ago, basically 2 weeks in Iquique. I really loved it. 21 breaks in the metropolitan area, and just a lot of variety, that's for sure. So right now we're watching heat number 1. Sammy Moratino is in the red singlet. He's currently in the lead with a 6.17 two-wave tally. We've got Marcelo Barros, of course, the Brazilian, in second with a 4.0. Josh Kirkman with a 3.33. Maxime Castillo holding on the priority and looking for his opening wave. Coming up next, Dudu Pedra will take on George Humphreys, Diogo Cabrera, and Gabriel Braga, of course, from Brazil. That will be heat number 2 here today from Itacoatiara.
So luckily for me, we had our hands tied early in the morning, but Fabiano from what company? Mundo Bodyboard. Yeah, so Mundo Bodyboard, Fabiano hooked me up and was able to spray down the golden boom. Are we going to see it, though, this round? I don't know. It's probably too small, but we do have the golden boom ready for anybody that gets a 10-point ride. This thing's coming out, and hopefully it'll stay together. It's already flaking. Here we go.
Okay, back to a bit of live action. And again, this is the surfer in yellow singlet, Josh Kirkman. Just a little incomplete roll on the inside section. Really quite tricky conditions here. The swell is slowly rising this morning. It looked like a lake. But this end of the beach, the southern end of the beach there, down there at Pumpo, definitely sucks up more swell than anywhere. And it's a little shallower as well. Banks here at the moment, Manny, a lot different to last year. They're quite deep, and they just drop off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think all the sand just moved over to the Pampo side. There's a lot more sand hugging that rock that leads out to the depths. But that swell coming in overnight is going to actually make that side very, very good. And by the words of Chico and Dudu, the direction is looking good. It's going to be going off tomorrow.
Okay, so just on 19 minutes remaining in our first heat of the day. Again, you can see the scores on screen there. So Sammy Moratino got himself a very good score there, 6.17 on his opening wave. That's a good number to pick up on a day like today. Josh Kirkman just moved up into second spot. Down into third position, of course, is the Brazilian, and the Frenchman still waiting to get his campaign underway. You can see Maxime Castillo just waiting for his opening wave.
So once again, Teza, for those that are just joining in, the format and the heat draw laid out right now for these riders.
Yeah, the heat draw is pretty standard. We had to do a little variation. Of course, we're not using the sessions format. For the sessions format, we need at least 3 full days of competition.
Yeah.
That's where the riders, get to surf 2 times, and then the best 3 waves are pulled out and into a leaderboard. So unfortunately, we ran out of time to use that one. And what we're using now is a compressed kind of a draw. So eight heats in the first round. The top 2 riders will go on through to round number 3. Third and fourth place getters will go into straight into the repechage round, where the top 2 will then move on through.
All right, so they do get a second chance if they don't make it out of this heat, which, I mean, right now, Maxime Castillo, we're already, coming up to the 10-minute mark into the heat, and he has yet to catch a wave. So, I don't know how you would approach it. You can go all out to get into that third round, or you can sit back and hopefully, cross your fingers and have it come to you. But look at this. It is Maxime with priority down the beach. Nice clean roll. Sees another section, goes for a roll onto the sand. Not going to really help him that much for that second move, but that first move was clean. It's going to be something that he's going to need for his first wave.
Absolutely. So time ticking away. We're almost, we down to around half time for this current heat in the water. Of course, they're 25-minute heats. So right now, 16 and a half minutes to go. So, approaching the halfway mark. And the surfing athletes are out there just trying to find a couple of foundation waves that they can build house on. Josh Kirkman looking at this little one here. Again, just bangs off a nice little roll. Good extension there. Josh has been doing a fantastic job as the riders' representative. So he's working on behalf of the riders, and they meet on a regular basis. They've got a little chat room on Facebook, and they pass all their information and suggestions on to Josh, and Josh then comes to the upper management to put those suggestions into place. Well, we see a little wave there for the Brazilian again.
Yes, he'll pull that off.
Yeah, he's going to ride up and onto the sand. So we're coming off a low tide, Manny. Around about 15, 20 minutes ago, the concept with Dudu Pedro, the local guy, said that when the tide's low and then switches to come back in, that's when it's going to pull the new swell with it.
Well, I mean, that's what we're hoping for. I mean, we want to see more. We all want to see bigger waves, of course. But again, that's all up to Mother Nature to deliver the goods. But Josh comes to us from Turncurry Beach. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Turncurry Beach.
Turncurry Beach.
Foster Turncurry. It's a great little spot about an hour and a half north of Newcastle, and it's got some beautiful little wedges. Very similar to this. This is the kind of stuff that Josh would have grown up with, back in the day.
There's a roll for Sammy Martino through the lip. Nice clean roll. He'll ride that up onto the beach. He's trying to get better. Actually, that is his second wave. So with that 6.17, that will definitely put him back into contention to get back into that first place spot. But Sammy Martino is another, somebody that's going to be a household name for sure. Come later in the years as he grows older, of course.
Okay. Yeah, nice little replay there. Sammy up onto the sand, and he is the current heat leader, holding on to a 6.17. We did have some scores come through. Josh Kirkman actually jumped up into first. Maxime Castillo into second. Sammy down to third. He'll take back the lead with that one, I would say. And there's another switcheroo there as the boys are just constantly getting waves. Coming up in heat number 2 of this first round of the competition, we'll see Dudu Pedro, the local legend, taking on George Humphreys, Diogo Cabrera, and Gabriel Braga from Brazil.
All right, so that is another stacked heat right now. Coming up in heat number 2, but Sammy Martino, DK World Champion, actually won a spot with Stevie Mayer, an all bodyboard Mentawai Island boat trip, and that was pretty epic for Sammy to pull off. He's going to be, I think he had to decide whether to head over to Australia for the Kayama event or do the trip with Stevie Mayer. Look at this. It is Marcelo on the left with a big flip on the end and answering with a roll on the other side. Marcelo, he is stoked. The Brazilians, you know what? I was here. Sorry for a cough here and there. It's been like 3 weeks that I've had this cough, but man, the Brazilians, there's so much passion. I was here for the first stop on the national event, and just the amount of energy, the passion, and the fight. They're so like, I don't want to say aggressive, but they're so pumped on competing as bodyboarders. And Marcelo, you can see him claiming it as he pulled off that big flip, probably the biggest move of the heat for sure in this heat. But answering back was, I believe that was Maxime Castillo as well. But we're going to take another look. So this is Josh's last wave with a nice clean roll. Pulled that off. That was, I think, his 4.23. But then, it was Marcelo Bajos who was able to pull off a big flip, the biggest move. Here we go. Josh forcing that roll, coming around the inside section. But, he's trying to better a 3.33. Is he going to be able to make that? And looks like somebody is in the contest area. And they're going to try to get him out of there. But here we go. Oh, it's a water photographer. So Sammy on the inside. Another roll onto the sand. So Sammy Martino again coming to us from Hawaii, the island of Kauai. So he is making his way back down to the rock, either to change a board or we'll find out. I mean, he ran up to the beach. Everything looked solid. But now Maxime Castillo and Josh Brigette Kirkman on the peak closest to the rock. And then you'll see Marcelo. He's hanging tight. He's sitting a little bit more wide than those two other riders, knowing that there is a wave that does roll through. So here's another look of Josh Brigette Kirkman. That roll onto the beach. So a big shout out to Time CNET Productions here in Brazil, holding it down on the live production. And Sammy making his way back out into the water. We're about 13 minutes remaining here in heat number 1 of round number 1 of the Itacoatiara Pro. Again, Teza McKenna and myself, Manny V, giving you the live feed from the beautiful beaches in Niterói. So all the riders waiting patiently. Look, a little paddle battle. They can see the waves coming off of the rock from the outside. Now to be able to get that little wedge section down the beach. This is Sammy Martino. He just paddled out without priority and was able to get this wave. Nice extension, lands onto the flat sand and rides it up onto the beach. So Sammy, again, just going 100%, 100 miles all the time. So, oh my goodness. So you can see the older man on the beach there walking around. Those shorts that he has on are called sangas. And sangas are very popular here in Brazil. You see the guys wearing them everywhere, all over the beaches here in Brazil. And I have 2 pairs. And I think I might buy a 3rd pair that I saw in a surf shop in Itacoatiara Inn. Big shout out to Nelson and his family for taking good care of us who are staying there, and any of my friends who have been on bodyboarding trips with me. Most definitely, if the Itacoatiara, well, I'm not even going to say if, when Itacoatiara Pro has its dates for 2020, get ready to pack your bags. Here's another look at Sammy Martino, full extension, lands perfectly on the shore and rides it out onto the beach. So another paddle around. Maxime Castillo in white taking a look. He's digging hard. Yes, this thing is going to shape up, but a quick roll off the top. He does have to pull that off if he wants to get the full scores on that. He has a 4.67 and a 2.33, as you can see on your screen, but that may or may not get rid of that 2.33. So again, non-elimination round out in the water, and that is Josh heading towards the rock. He has a nice left. I believe that is probably just a roll, and he'll cut out of that. Obviously, our camera angle into the left is not situated right now for this day. We're going to get the boys to try to get that camera up and ready to shoot into the lefts, or at least head on. Here we go. Blue down the wave. Marcelo. And it looks like another flip. Did he pull this one off? And you can see him, just his little head right under the sandbank, rolling up onto the sand. So Marcelo, he is looking pretty strong right now. So Marcelo and Sammy looking pretty good in this first heat. Again, non-elimination round. First and second go straight into round number 3. Third and fourth in these first 8 heats of round number 1. We'll battle it out one more time in round number 2. So, yeah, sangas. Don't worry, you don't need a perfect body to wear those things. Believe me, I've seen a few bodies here that, well, we'll talk about that later. Going for a move on the inside there. That was Maxime Castillo. Unfortunately, he could not pull it off. And, yep, that was Marcelo again. Sammy and Marcelo just nonstop moving back and forth, the wave to the beach, back out in the water. These two guys are running on 100% gas the entire time. So Teza McKenna, looks like Sammy Martino, Marcelo looking very strong out here. Josh and Maxime, if they do get knocked out in this round, we will see them again in round number 2.
Yeah, absolutely, Manny. Thanks for holding it down. I just had to make sure everything was working behind the scenes there. It's always a complicated sort of a situation. We don't have the sort of bandwidth that we really need here to go on Facebook and YouTube channel, so we're only live on the YouTube channel. We've just finally sorted that out. So Sammy Martino in the lead with some pretty good scores, a 7.17 and a 6.17. Then we have, of course, Marcelo with a 6.5 and a 5.67. So Maxime Castillo chasing 8.68 to take the lead, and it looks like to go into first position, Kirkman is chasing a 9.17.
Oh, we saw a nice clean move right there from our rider in yellow. Let's speak of the devil. That was Josh. And here's Maxime on a nice clean peak. He'll go for a nice roll on the inside. This thing may shape up for another maneuver. And there it is. Maxime rides up onto the beach. So solid wave back-to-back for both of those guys who were sitting in third and fourth. So, yeah, I mean, I was a question. Are we going to be able to get another camera down in front of Pompo?
Yeah, that was the original plan. I don't think that the boys had a problem with the cable on the long cable on the camera that was going to be at the Pompo end. So they're running around like crazy at the moment with some more cable trying to roll it out there. It's quite a distance, Manny. I mean, it's probably 300 meters to the south of us. So here's a replay.
quarter mile for all us Americans. So nice, clean through the lip roll right there, right in front of the cameraman. And another one, or Sammy Morantino. That was Maxime Castillo with 2 rolls on that one. So that'll definitely help him in his run for first or second place. But I'm telling you, Sammy, and Marcelo with that 6.5 for Marcelo and that 7.6 for Sammy is going to be tough to beat.
Absolutely. Well, you can see why the wave has creates an amazing wedge here at Pumpo. It comes off the edge of that rock there as we see. This is Maxime Castillo. Again, the Frenchman just finishing off that one on the inside section. So we're underway here, folks. And again, we've had a really unlucky a run here. The water temperature here in Brazil at the moment at Itacoatiara is 23 degrees Celsius. It's ridiculously warm for wintertime. It looks like on Friday, Manny, just as we get out of here, a monstrous storm comes in with some huge waves, and it's kind of like the unofficial start of winter.
Oh, my goodness. So I thought it was winter now, and it's sunny, and I'm sweating. But look at that. Sammy Morantino throwing it upside down with that flip, and he does hold on and pull that around. So that was Sammy's earlier wave. Actually, no, that came in at his second wave as a 7.17. So Sammy on fire. Here we go. Josh Burgett-Kirkman taking a look. Camera 1, where are you?
Okay, so Dudu Pedro, George Humphreys, Diego Cabrera, and Gabriel Braga coming up next here. And again, it's just a bit of a snap decision from the riders. They saw a couple of waves in the corner and said, hey, we'd like to try and roll it out so we can use the second option. There was a call at 7 o'clock this morning. There was another call at 10. And at the 10 o'clock call, I honestly thought we'd come back at 12 to have a look and see if the swell was coming. But the boys basically just said, let's do it, and let's do it now. So we're kind of all scrambling together to put this webcast together for you folks. So we'll come together a little tighter as we get a little further into the heats.
I was really surprised on how many hands went up when they said, who wants to run today, like within a half hour.
Yeah.
And everybody raised their hand. And I think it was just they're so antsy and anxious. They just want to get something going because they've been sitting around for over a week.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, just filling in the time with hikes on the beach cleanup, the other social projects. So there's been 2 pretty awesome projects that were organized from the Itacoatiara Pro.
Yeah, that's right. The first one, of course, was we got a bunch of kids from the local primary school. They do it every year and brought them all down and taught them some ocean awareness, familiarization of equipment, you know, how the bodyboard works, and of course, the basics of bodyboarding. And there was some really cool imagery that come out of that one. Our second social project, of course, was when World's Best all put on the garden gloves and grabbed a garbage bag, and everybody headed down the beach. And gee, I'll tell you what, it was a bit of a shock, Mandy, to find that much plastic in the bushes.
Yeah, it was. There's so much. Ooh, Maxime pulling back on that one. The 24-year-old from Les Salles in France. Loves spending time in Portugal. He really loves surfing Nazaré for obvious reasons. Look at this. Sammy Morantino punches through the lip. I'm going to say that was a roll, and he will slide up onto the beach. And look at this. Josh Burgett pulling back on that left. But, yeah, Maxime, he is hungry for a win on the Grand Slam Series, and also would love to say hi to his friends that are watching live back in France and in Portugal.
Okay, so time remaining, just on 2 minutes left on the clock. So Josh Burgett-Kirkman and Maxime Castillo, both those riders got a bit of work to do here, folks. Chasing some pretty big numbers as we see the current heat leader, again, Sammy Morantino, just making it look too easy. Backflip
onto the sand. That is scary. One false move, he's head first and grinding the sand in his mouth. But fortunately for all of us, he was able to pull that off. So Sammy, Marcelo still looking strong. Here's another look at Sammy right here. You can see him just throwing a flip right onto the sand. Face planting just a little bit into the water, not onto the sand. So Sammy looking strong. Marcelo looking strong. Everybody's just stoked to be able to get the, you know, loosen up the gears a little bit as they've been waiting to get this show underway as well as you. So big shout out to everybody tuning in. We've been waiting as long as you have, and we are stoked to get this underway. Tomorrow, Teza, is going to be a full day of action.
Absolutely, very nice. I'd like to say a big shout out to some of those people on the Facebook page, APB. Underneath that live link, if you'd like to leave a comment, we'd love to hear from you. So Ricardo Ferreira saying the quality of the streaming is very nice. Good on you, Ricardo. Much appreciated, buddy. Love the positivity of those sort of comments.
Yes.
And-
Obrigado. Gracias.
Yep. And anybody else who's online, please go to that Facebook page. Tell us where you're watching from. Do a bit of a shout out. Tell us who you think might win this first Grand Slam of 2019. We're into the last minute, Manny Vargas.
Yes, this is it. We're coming down to the wire. Again, non-elimination round number 1 of this first round. And you're going to see all these riders once again. First and second, they're going to jump right into round number 3. Josh scratching. He's looking for a big score, 6.25, to get into that second place spot, but may not get it on that wave right there. But again, it is you're going to see everybody again, whether it's in round 2 or round number 3.
Yeah, that's right. So top 2 go straight into round number 3. Third and fourth place getters into round 2. Repechage tomorrow, of course, with that hopefully that new swell coming through. I think we can see the energy now is definitely starting to show here, Manny.
Ooh, I can hear it, feel it.
It's great to see, and it's just been a really unlucky run. I mean, it happened to us in Kiama as well.
Oh.
So we've been pretty unlucky with some of the Grand Slams over the last 6 months, but. These things are out of our control, and I just have an old saying: I never really worry about anything that is out of our control. So there it is, Manny. It's going to be Sammy Mauritania and Marcelo Bassos who will move on through this one. So the Hawaiian and the Brazilian 1-2 in heat number 1.
Yeah, Sammy and Marcelo looking very, very strong. We're going to start with heat number 2. I believe we have some commercial breaks, don't we?
I believe so. So let's see if we can have a talk to Alex, our producer. And we'll throw to a commercial break, and we'll be back with more live action from the Itacoatiara Pro right after this, so stand by.
A NET tem super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny V here once again with Teza McKenna, bringing you the second heat of round number 1 here at the Itacoatiara Pro. The sun is still out and beautiful. The sand is still warm. The water's still warm. And guess what? The waves are finally starting to show here at the Itacoatiara Pro.
Yeah, that's right. So Sammy Mauritino and Marcelos from Brazil, 1 and 2 in that first one. Again, we'd love to hear from you on our Facebook page. Jump on and let us know. We had a bit of a clunky start to the webcast. We do apologise for that. We had everything all lined up, ready to go, but the riders made a bit of a snap decision, Manny, and everybody was just kind of caught unawares. They saw some waves coming in the southern corner, and that's the main thing. The boys wanted to surf, so let's get the show on.
And that's it. I was really surprised on how many hands went up to say, let's do this now. And here you go. Within 40 minutes, we are live and running. Out in the water, we do have heat number 2 of 8 in round number 1. Again, non-elimination round, 25-minute heats. Top 2 waves are scored. Again, first and second to round number 3. Third and fourth go into round number 2.
Okay, so a couple of scores rolling through. George Humphreys from Australia. Big shout out to those people down under. And we did a nice little tribute to Tom Wilson at the start of this. I don't know if it actually went to the live, so we might actually come back at some point and do that, or maybe even just recreate that tomorrow. I think for a larger audience. Of course, we lost our APB development manager Tom Wilson a couple of weeks back, and our hearts and prayers go out to his family and friends. But George Humphreys, well, he's from the same spot as Tommy was. He's a West Australian from Mandurah. We got Gabriel Braga, of course, is out there from Brazil. Both those guys got little waves. Dudu Pedro, of course, the local legend, Manny.
Yes, talk about legendary status. Dudu Petra and Itacoatiara, they go hand in hand, and it's going to be amazing if we can see Dudu Pedra in the bigger stuff, if we see it.
That's right. And former winner of this event and all-round legend, Diego Cabrera from the Canary Islands, is the surfer in yellow. So that's heat number 2, round number 1. We're coming to you live from Itacoatiara. We've been waiting around. There's been no motion in the ocean. Since the day we got here, we had a little day with some 2-footers where we rolled out the trials. And since then, it looked like, it looked like Lake Atlantic.
No, I mean, everybody was trying to fill in their time because there was nothing out there. I loved it. It's like I want the big waves, but at the same time, it's like the best swimming pool you could ask for. Here we go. Action out the back with a big flip, using that projection from a little bit of that backwash, but could not pull it off. That was Gabriel Braga who launched on that one. That was pretty solid right there for Gabriel, but unfortunately got loose on the landing. So, I mean, if he can pull that off, that'll definitely put him into that first place spot, but unfortunately came loose on the landing. So Dudu Pedra in red. That was Gabriel in blue, George Humphreys in white, and Diego Cabrera. There's another look right there. Big backflip, but could not pull it off. These guys are landing moves like almost entirely on the sand. So I'm looking at our Stacked app right now. If you haven't already downloaded it, you can have the Stacked app and the live scores in your hands. Go to stackedapp.com and download the free app, and you'll be able to follow your riders, see their stats, see their results, and see the live scores.
Absolutely. And, that heat number 1 in Stacked will show the results from heat 1. It was Sammy Morantino, some good scores, and Marcelo Barros, of course, was in second spot. Maxime Castillo, the Frenchman, was in third, and Josh Kirkman was in fourth position. So we're in heat number 2, round number 1, effectively. It says 8 heats in this round. They're 25 minutes each. It's a non-elimination round, which means the first and second place getters will jump on through to round number 3, and the third and fourth place getters will go into that do or die repechage. Yeah,
Sammy looking very strong, and man, he's stoked. Anybody going on that Indonesia trip to the Mentawais with him on the Stevie Mayer all bodyboard trip, you are pumped. Sammy's such a cool guy and very professional, and he'll show you some drop knee skills as well.
Oh, yeah, he's an all-rounder. He can prone, he can drop, he can stand up, he can do a little bit of everything. Coming up next, we'll see Brahim Indois, the first of the Moroccans, will hit the water. We've got Yuri Valadeo, of course, former world champion from Brazil. Zhao Zik, of course, the local legend. And Cristobal Fernandez from Easter Island will be out there in that one as well. So that's the situation. Looks like we got Sammy and Josh Kirkman, the boys, starting to make their way back from that first heat. So it looked like pretty tough work, but, it was a pretty unanimous decision to run here today. And it was driven by the riders themselves.
Big extended roll on the inside right there. That was Gabriel Braga finding a nice move on the inside on what is out there. Looks like a little bit of a texture hitting the water right now, crumbling the lip just a little bit. But the riders are still able to pull off some maneuvers. I mean, we've seen 6 and 7 point rides already, so it's totally contestable out here in these conditions. Of course, it's not the Itacoatiara we are all waiting for. Hopefully that comes in overnight. But with time, against us, knocking out one round today, non-elimination, luckily, we are going to get a full day of action tomorrow, starting off with round number 2 if we don't hit that today.
Yeah, that's right. So right now, 17:40 on the clock. It's George Humphreys with a couple of early rides in there, sitting in second position. Gabriel Braga, of course, a Brazilian. Great rider, came through. Did he come through the trial? I think he came through the trials, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, so he's been in pretty good form, that is for sure.
All right, so Dudu Pedra has yet to catch a wave. Diego Cabrera has a 1 point ride. Again, I'm looking down on my tablet here. and seeing it in stacked, and you can see it on your screen as well. But if you have stacked in your hands, you can click away and see details on what each score, what each judge dropped, the play-by-play, the priority switch. It's all in there in stacked. So make sure you download it. And if there's any organizers right now watching, it's an end-to-end event management system that'll blow your mind. Everything from registration to validating those tour points. Here we go, up and riding down the beach. That looks like our rider in white, George Humphrey, pulling off a maneuver at the end there. So, yes, the camera number 2, we're setting up to get out there to start shooting or straight on into the lineup as some of these lefts start moving away from us. Taking a look at this, that is Gabriel Braga. So right now, looking on your screen, you can see this current situation. Kind of low scores right now for where we are right now. I'm actually going to, probably cannot see it, but I'm going to sneak some of this orange juice away from Teza while he's gone. But I don't think he'll notice it's gone. All right, you guys, so Josh Brigette-Kurtman, again, your host on Le Boogie Podcasts. Talking to the boys in depth, and I do have my Boog Life podcast where I talk to bodyboarders about the beginnings. And here we go, Gabriel Braga dropping in. Nice clean section, extended roll. He'll pull that and ride that up onto the sand. So not too bad conditions out here, even though it is a shore break. At 2 occasional 3-foot wave coming in. So it is very tough, though. Definitely very, very tough for these riders to get those higher scores. Gabriel Braga looking very good, and you can see him catapulting into that first place spot. Again, non-elimination round here in round number 1. Oh, no. I think Terry just caught me drinking some of his orange juice.
That's all good.
But, no, they've been taking care of us at the Itacoatiara Inn. Of course, Puro Suco. You see that cool ad with Dudu Pedra saluting the camera with a acai bowl, I believe that was. But Puro Suco right down the road. The whole crew there, always open arms and very happy to see us when we roll in and ask for Italiano and acai.
And it's a really good bargain. And it's like you get a one of those little Italiano rolls, and you get some acai drink for $7, which works out to be semi-Maritino worked out to be $1.55 US.
Oh well, no. If it's 7, I guess he's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
all right.
$1.55 US. So he's been just living on that stuff, and he said he's just loving it.
They're heavy though.
Yeah.
The Italianos, they're so delicious, but they're super, super heavy. And I think I've had 1 or 2 this whole trip.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid him. I'm trying to lose a couple of kegs just quietly. Gabriel Braga in the lead at the moment. The Brazilian doing pretty good with a 5.17. That's a good score on today's standards. Looks like we're almost ready to go with an interview down there. We'll just wait for the cue from the producer. But, of course, we'll have Sammy Martino, of course, winner of the first heat. We'll be having a chat to Sammy about what the conditions are like.
Yeah, no, Sammy, again, super stoked to head over to the Menta Wise later on this year with Stevie Mayer and the crew. And if you want to get on that trip, I think there's a couple spots open. Hit up Sammy Martino or Stevie Mayer on Facebook and try to get on that program. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. So it's it's the Stevie Mayer's All Bodyboard Adventures, Mento Adventures. Check it out on Facebook. You'll find them.
Yeah. I think we are ready, Teza, and it is Sammy Martino with Paola. Paola, are we ready?
Sammy Morentino from Hawaii, from Kauai, actually. He loves Itacoatiara, second time here. He's been here 13 days, and he said just training a lot. But today, the swell dropped a little bit, like yesterday, and now pick up. What did you do there, like, to make the difference?
I just tried to focus on getting one good score to start off with, just to build momentum. It's very difficult out there right now. It's pretty much on the shore, but I have a lot of practice at home. The waves aren't too good before I came here, so I'm practicing in the small stuff, but excited to get the event underway. We've just kind of been cruising for the last week, 8 days, so yeah, it's good to get this underway and stoked I won my heat.
What are you gonna do the next heat to make it all the difference and finish here, go straight to Chile and try to make things? And
well, tomorrow the swells forecast to pick up a little bit. It could get bigger. We don't know. The swells have kind of not been coming on time lately, this whole waiting period. So we'll see what Mother Nature hands us tomorrow for round 2 and 3.
That's it. Good luck. See you to the next round.
Thank you.
Back to you guys, Manny and Tessa.
Okay, thank you very much for a great little interview there with Sammy Morantino, who really utilised the elements on this tricky day here in Brazil for heat number 1, round number 1 of our first Grand Slam for 2019. So stoked to have you along. Tessa McKenna, of course, joined by the man himself, Manny V. And we've had some fantastic experiences since we've been here, Manny. We've, gone for a once-in-a-lifetime bridge experience, the big 9-mile bridge that connects Niterói all the way back to Rio. One of the companies there, of course, that runs the bridge, what's their name again?
Ponte.
That's the ones, yeah. Well, they invited a select group of people, some former world champions, a couple of, legends and luminaries, and said, come on down, and they actually stopped a whole lane of traffic.
Oh, my gosh.
For us to get out and jump down this little sketchy little bridge and go underneath the bridge at its highest point. I think it was like 220 feet, and it was an incredible once-in-a-lifetime experience.
No, it was absolutely amazing, and I asked the guys, I'm like, and the people working there, I'm like, so are you allowed to bring dates out here and have dinner? And they said, definitely not. Look at this, down the beach, big extended roll right there. Gabriel Braga on fire.
Yeah, the Brazilian is loving it out here at the moment. And the red singlet, Dudu Pedro, of course, some left-handers going back into the corner. So as I mentioned earlier, we had some problem with the long lead. It's just 2 or maybe 300 meters from one end where we are at the main podium, all the way down to the southern end of Pempo. So we had a problem with the cord. So unfortunately, not bringing you the sort of imagery that we would have liked to, but I guess it's the boys just wanted to get the show underway here today. As we see, this is a little nice little single maneuver.
Nice.
Again, that's Diego Cabrera enjoying his opening wave. Diego's been running around the Itacoatiara for the last couple of days, and he's as fit as I've ever seen.
No, again, he's focused. And who is in that barrel? Are they going to come out of that? Oh, my goodness. Clocking some serious tube time. Was that Gabriel Braga? No, that was George Humphreys almost making it out of that long driving barrel. That was pretty insane, but unfortunately was not able to come out of that. That was pretty solid. So, man, just a few feet bigger, and this place is going to go nuts. And that's what we're calling for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you betcha. And that's all we need is a couple more feet, and it'll be pumping. They're talking today. They're saying this is 2 to 3 feet on the on the charts. Of course, it's not 2 to 3 feet where they're surfing. I would be saying that's more like 2 foot. But it's a bit of a protected sort of beach. This one, it needs a bit more swell than the open beaches that are fully exposed to the whole brunt of the swell. But this is heat number 2, round number 1, and coming up in heat number 3, we've got some great action coming your way, so make sure you stay with us. Heat number 3 will feature Brahim Idoish, Yuri Valadao Jalzik, and Cristobal Fernandez from Rapa Nui. They're no longer calling it Easter Island. It's official that they've dropped that tag, and they're just running with the traditional Rapa Nui call. I like that.
I love that. That's pretty awesome. Because Dave Hubbard, nice extended right there. Another look at Gabriel Braga's one of his last waves. But, Dub was calling it Rapa Nui. And I was, ignorant to the name itself. But he explained what it was. And, I'm stoked that they're able to bring that name back and make it official. Yeah,
it's got incredible history, the old Rapa Nui, and, all the gods that they made and the trees that they cut down to roll all those those monuments around the island. Eventually was almost created like kind of a genocide for the people that lived there in the early days. It was an interesting kind of a a factor. And we want to say a big shout out to some people watching online. Adam Switzer, g'day from Singapore. Go the Aussies. Always good to see things underway. Adam Switzer, of course, a bit of a legend from way back in the Cooter Lines days.
Yes.
He was on the old Cooter Lines team. G'day, Adam. He's a doctor now, Dr. Switzer.
What?
Yeah, might have to get him to come and be the official doctor of the APB. That sounds pretty good.
Awesome. Well, he may charge a pretty penny with those, those doctors.
And Singaporean money as well. Dion Mayer, of course, we'll be working with. He'll be part of the call team in both Antofagasta and Arica. So looking forward to hanging out with our South African mate. G'day, Dion. Jonathan Gabrielson, of course, from San Diego.
Yeah, that's my boy, JG.
In the house.
Yep, IBBC represent.
And a whole bunch of other people are online there. Love to hear from you. So jump online on the APB Facebook page, just underneath the link where the live link is, of course, through to our YouTube channel. Tomorrow we'll be live on Facebook. We did have a little clunky start here where we were trying to go to Facebook. There was a technical issue, and then we had to switch it back to YouTube. So we do apologise for that, but some things are completely out of our control.
Yeah, I mean, we have the live feed now, and we are stoked. And look at this. Looks like a little paddle battle. Split peak. Whoa, big flip on time. The backwash almost perfectly, and a roll into the rock. That was Dudu Pedra. And it was a split peak with the Brazilians, Gabriel Braga in blue and Dudu Pedra on the left in red. So now with priority is George Humphreys, Australian in white, and from the Canary Islands in yellow, Diego Cabrera, both with 1 and 2 priority. So, yeah, I mean, definitely contestable. Of course, it's not what we all want to see of Itacoatiara, but she's been pretty silent for the past 10 days, but finally at least we have something. So thank you, Mother Nature.
Yeah, and the water temperature here for this time of the year is unseasonably warm, around 24 degrees. It's just like bath water. And as I mentioned, I think it's June 22nd is the official start of winter here in Brazil. But it looks like from Friday, so this contest wraps up tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Then Thursday, a big storm comes in. Friday, it's the kind of like winter's going to hit in a big way. There's the replay. And just mixing it up very nicely indeed. And he's going to ride up and onto the shore. You know what, many of the judges, I just noticed, have actually relocated out of the container at Pumpo, and they've moved right down to the water's edge.
They did?
Yeah.
How are they pulling that off?
I guess because they can't see because of the Wi-Fi. With the Stacked is such a versatile scoring system. You can just pick it up and go anywhere to judge with it, as long as it's within the Wi-Fi range. So there's the overview of Itacoatiara here in Brazil. It's, of course, part of Niterói, which is on the northern side of the bridge, and just a great place to come and visit, that's for sure.
Oh, so they got out of the container, the judging booth, because of that sandbank. They weren't able to see the maneuvers.
So what's happened since we ran the trials, a lot of sand has been pushed up onto the southern corner of this beach. So we're hoping that overnight with the rise in swell, some of that sand will get reclaimed, pull it back and make some really nice little banks here for tomorrow. Either way, we're definitely going to see some better conditions tomorrow. That's for sure. We can guarantee that. So right for now, 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock in heat number 2.
That was Diego Cabrera making a big roll towards the rock on that left. Again, we're going to try to set up a camera that it's going to look face on or into the left, as a lot of the riders are opting to go left down the beach. So, yes, that is, again, one of the things that we're lining up for later on today or into tomorrow. So, Diego Cabrera, that wave will not help him too much. I mean, he's sitting on a 5.9 and a 4.67. So, I mean, he's in that first and second place spot. Again, the format, Teza, for today.
Yeah, format's pretty straightforward. So 8 heats, 25 minutes per heat. Top 2 riders go through to round number 3. Third and fourth place getters go into tomorrow's repechage. And, of course, we'll start with those repechage heats real early tomorrow morning, Manny. Now that we've decided to commit to one of the draws, because we were down to 2 options. Yeah, I mean, at the start we had 3 or 4 options, really. I mean, our ultimate option of always is the sessions format, where it really showcases the guys, and they have 2 complete rounds to pull the best 3 waves out into a leaderboard, and of course the top 16 move on through. But this time round, of course, we just don't have the time to run it. So we had one draw that was for tomorrow, in case today was unrideable. It would have been just 8, 4, 4, 2, 1, and just old school 4-man heats until we got to the quarters, where it would turn to man on man. But now, at least we've got, some variety in this draw. It's a hybrid of kind of the Sessions draw, of course, and, it gives the guys a second chance, so it's good to see.
No, I mean, we're going to see everybody at least 2 times, and seeing them out here, just getting their gears all moving as they've been sitting around for a while. A lot of the riders took to skimboarding, hiking, and, they've been moving around. Look at this, Gabriel Braga. Again on the inside, goes for a maneuver on the shore break, right up onto the sand. But just to stay mentally focused is probably one of the hardest things to do when you're sitting around waiting for waves and you look out to the ocean and there's nothing out there to be had. I mean, not even, this is what you're looking at is the biggest day we've had in the past, over a week. So these guys are, how do you stay focused is the question.
Yeah, it is. It's been tough, and the boys have been burning energy, climbing and hiking, and there's a lot of stuff to do around this beautiful part of the world. You can see the locals. It is of course, it's only a Tuesday here in Brazil, and it's a work day, and there's not a lot of people here on the weekend, though, Manny. It looked like an ant farm.
It was packed, and it was pretty cool. I mean, I unfortunately, I spent a lot of time in my hotel room working on the computer. But once I got out here in the afternoon, there was still a ton of people all the way through the sunset. It was pretty spectacular. George Humphreys down on the left. He sees a section. I believe that was a roll, and he'll ride that up onto the shore. So George Humphreys, currently in that third place spot, 3.83 and a 3.5. Looking for a 6.75, which that may not be it, but it could be better than a 3.5, his second of his 2 highest scoring waves.
Okay, big shout out to Paulo Bernardo saying, let's go, cheers from Portugal. So, botar to Paulo, good on you, mate. Also, a bit of a shout out, aloha to Sammy Brown from Kauai. And what just happened there? That looked pretty spectacular. I was just looking down at the screen on the Facebook page, but what was that one about?
Well, Dudu Pedro was coming at us on the right. Nice, clean, extended roll. And down the beach, I believe that was Diego Cabrera. As you can see, the riders from the next heat starting to creep in as time is winding down. On the screen, you have 37 seconds remaining.
Okay, so a big shout out to also James Christovitsis, I think it is, from Perth, Australia. G'day, mate. How are you? They're a couple of hours behind the East Coast there, so it'd be late at night. I'd say it'd be 11 or 12, or maybe 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So Good on you, James. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. It's day number 1. We're coming to you live from Brazil, and the time is pretty much out on that one. So, Manny, in the end, who was it?
It looks like if nothing changed at that last moment, Diego Cabrera in second and Gabriel Braga in first. Those two advancing on into round number 3. But you're going to see George Humphreys and Dudu Pedra one more time, at least one more time, as they get knocked into the repechage round number 2.
Okay, so that's it. It looks like that's a wrap on heat number 2, round number 1 from the Itacoatiara Pro. In the end, it was Diego Cabrera actually did jump up into the lead there, Manny. So it looks like there was a situation change right at the end. Diego Cabrera will take that heat, and it will be Gabriel Braga that will move on through. Of course, Dudu and George Humphreys will go into the repechage heats here tomorrow.
Wow, that was a pretty solid run. I believe that left... Yep, if you look on the left over there, that is Diego going for a roll, and that's what he needed to punch into that first place spot. So good job for Diego Cabrera. Now, heat number 3 of 8 of round number 1, a non-elimination round, is underway. These are 25-minute heats. Top 2 waves are score. Brahim looks a little bit more tan than that picture you saw on the screen, but Brahim, we'll get his photo up there shortly. Brahim from Morocco will be in red. Uri Valadao, 2008 world champion, in white from Brazil. Joao Zeke, another living legend here from Itacoatiara, will be out there in the yellow jersey. And Cristobal Fernandez in blue from Rapa Nui.
Okay, so, hey, while you were doing that spiel there, Manny, what happened was Dudu Pedro dropped to 5.5, went to third position, but it wasn't enough in the end. It was Diego Cabrera and it was Gabriel Braga in second spot. Dudu Pedro, George Humphreys into the requals tomorrow. I think we're going to throw to a commercial break, mate, and let's pay some bills, throw to a commercial with our producer, and we'll be back with more live action from Itacoatiara right after this.
All right, Tessa. It looks like he may be out of the office having an Italiano. So you know what? Let's keep this show underway. It
was a nice practice run to the commercial throw, that wasn't it?
That was pretty solid. That was a practice run, ladies and gentlemen. 23 minutes. 23 minutes, but looks like he's back in there, done eating his Italiano. All right, we'll be back right after this.
A NET tem super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
Okay, so welcome back, everyone, and it is day number one. We're coming to you live from Itacoatiara. Sorry about that, Manny. Just a clunky little. We always pull the microphones out when the commercial break is on. Tessa McKenna, Manny Vargas taking you through, of course, day number one here from Brazil. And jump on the Stacked app. You'll be able to find out all of the information, Manny.
Yep, I have this thing handy, of course. Brahim, we need to get his photo in there ASAP. But yeah, this is gold. Get it, download it, stackedapp.com. Not only do you see the live scores, you can click around and see everything about the rider, their sponsors, photos, results, also the play-by-plays, the who had priority win, and all of that stuff right here in Stack. So download it, stackedapp.com. Let's go back into the action. We had a couple waves go down with Cristobal Fernandez and Rudy Valadao. Actually, everybody has caught a wave. Let's go into the water.
Okay, so we'll throw it out into the lineup and have a look here, Alejandro, the producer. Let's have a look at what's happening out there in the lineup. We'll find out what's happening in heat number 3.
How about in Portuguese?
Sim.
Vamos à praia. Vamos a de praia. It worked.
Yeah, there we go. Right. Well, it's an overview of the beach there. It gives you a nice little sort of almost a fisheye kind of a view of Itacoatiara, and you can see the lineup at the moment that we got there at the moment. Brahim Idoish. Of course, we'll upgrade that photo overnight. Manny is staying with us, so we'll get a nice picture of him being there for tomorrow.
Well, I can tell you right now, he does look a lot more handsome than that.
Absolutely. He looks like Casper the Ghost right now. We've got Uri Valadao, of course, is out there, and who else is in the water, mate? Jalzik, of course, the local legend, is in the yellow. And it looks like Christian Fernandez from Rapa Nui in the blue singlets got off to a pretty good start.
I don't understand how guys like him, Eder Luciano, these tall bodyboarders are able to throw their bodies like that and make it look effortless.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about the how does that guy do that? I remember everyone was trying to trace his board to get the template off it. But, yeah, interesting stuff. So heat number 3 is currently underway. It's heat 3 of 8, 25-minute heats. Cristobal Fernandez with a 6.33 on his high score. Jalzik with a 5.67 on his top score. And then Uri Valadao with a 4.67.
Uri Valadao in and out of that one. Not much there for Uri. He will make his way back out into the water. Brahim in red. Uri Valadao, of course, in white and yellow. Joao Zeke And in blue, Cristobal Fernandez, who is looking pretty solid right now. Taking a look at this, it is Joao pulling back as he does not have priority. Punches through the lip right there is Brahimidouche. But he's going to slide out with the whitewash. Not a super clean maneuver. But again, he's only got one wave on his scorecard of a 3.17. That's not going to be a super high scoring wave, but at least he has two waves now to contend with.
Okay, so the reason why we're running this around here this afternoon, folks, is to give us the option to use a much bigger and better draw that gives the athletes a second chance, a repechage round for tomorrow. If we didn't surf here today, Manny, it would have been back to an old school contest like back in the 80s where you have, or not the 80s, but the 90s, where you have kind of four guys in the heat, two go through all the way, and then it'll be man-on-man from the quarterfinals onwards. So it would have gone 8-4-4-2-1. So it would have been just one day of competition with no second chances for anyone. Riders made a decision, collective decision today to go with the longer draw on the second chance and have two opportunities to surf Itacoatiara and try and win the title here on the first Grand Slam of 2019.
I don't even know if Joao, Zeke, or Cristobal Fernandez were even born in the 80s. I think these guys are young guns, still in their 20s, but not afraid to attack any of the big stuff as we see all the riders waiting patiently in that little rip current that just spurred up right through the competition area. Joao, Zeke in yellow taking a look at this one, and onto the inside. He rides onto the sand. So, man. All right, drop it in. Taking a look. It is a split peak in white. Punching through the lip. Udi Valadao right in front of the water photographer. Slides up onto the beach. So, Udi will finally get a solid score for his second ride. And it was a blue Cristobal Fernandez on that left. Here's another look at Joao Zeke's right-hander. Oh, my God. Almost over-rotated and landed on dry sand. Here we go. Live action. It is Brahim.
Okay, Brahim Indoish. And a big shout-out to all of our Moroccan fans. Of course, the APB World Tour heading to Casablanca a little later this year. Women's bodyboard experience. So well done to Karina and Zeneb and even Juan Santos, all the gang who's, putting that event together, doing a great job. And it's going to be a fantastic experience to showcase the world's best women's bodyboarders from the APB World Tour in Morocco later on this year.
I was fortunate enough to be invited to head over there with them, and I stressed out because I don't have a visa for Morocco, and apparently a few people said it takes forever to get one. And I think it was the South Africans who were telling me that, and they are the only ones that really need a visa to go into Morocco.
Well, you pretty much to go anywhere. They make it a little harder on our friends from South Africa, that is for sure. I can't tell you the amount of letters that visa letters that I've had to write for South Africans over the years. Listen, we had a question from Ricardo Ferreira, of course, our mate from Portugal, asking, where's all the Portuguese riders like Antonio Cardoso and Dino Carmo? Well, unfortunately, neither of the guys came here this year, and unfortunately, neither of them have taken up their position in the top 24. So that's a bit of a shame, and they'll be heading towards Fronton, of course, because that's pretty close to home for those guys. But they're building businesses and trying to take advantage of the busy season over there in Portugal. With the surf schools, and I think Antonio, of course, has been involved with a lot of tow-in stuff and riding the jet skis and all that. So, and also building a nice little empire around his movie that he released last year as well.
That's right. So Antonio Cardoso, you will definitely see him at some point during the year. But, I mean, you're right. Summertime in Europe, that is big money when it comes to bodyboard schools, surf schools, and just, catering to the tourists that hit the coastlines. Maxime Ausina, who is competing in the event, he is somebody who works with a school as well. Nice clean roll through the lip. Wow. You have these riders so far in these first few heats that are just finding themselves in the right place at the right time and getting those bigger scores. In this case, it's Cristobal Fernandez in heat number 3. These waves are coming right to him, and he's able to pull off these big, perfect cylindrical moves for rolls and the backflips too. So he's in the hot seat right now. Udi Valadao and Joao Zeke are looking pretty strong too with those high 4s and 5s. And Brahim still waiting patiently for that wave to come in.
Okay, so coming up in the next heat, of course, we'll see heat number 4. Pierre-Louis Costes. Hang on, I'm going to come back to that heat as we got some live action here, and that is that Zeke?
Yes, Joao Zeke landing straight on the dry sand.
Yeah, it's a mad short arm down there in the corner, that is for sure. But, it's contestable, to use an old surfing commentary cliche. Everyone's got to surf the same kind of stuff. But I think that high tide is already coming in pretty quickly, and that's looking like it's going to be pretty hard there for the guys that are in the later part of this opening round here in Itacoatiara.
You know what? I'm all about. I mean, I can say it now because I'm sitting on my butt, but if you're going to be the best in the world, you got to be able to compete in any and all conditions. And, knowing that the swell will be rising throughout the night and throwing it down here is, vital to be able to pull off a win here.
Yeah, that's right. That was a very diplomatic decision as well. We all got together, the organisers and the riders, and Josh Kirkman, of course, is the riders' representative now, doing a fantastic job at corralling all the guys together, getting their opinions and passing them on to the upper management. So, but there's a little replay. This one's a blue. That's pretty tidy stuff right there from the surfer in the blue singlet again. What's his nickname?
That is Cristobal Fernandez, otherwise known as
Tufi.
Tufi.
Yeah, that's it. Tufi Fernandez. Yeah, so he's a classic, isn't he? Such a lovely guy. Cruises around with his dad, who's a real happy chap, and they're just loving life at the moment. I remember writing some. Here's a little replay of that one. Previous wave. I remember writing some letters of support for them to basically go and hit up the government over there. And his dad saw me the other day and he said, "Thank you very much to the APB." He said, "We're travelling around. They're getting great support from the government over there in Rapa Nui. So thank you very much to the Rapa Nui government for that kind of support." And that's what we need for athletes right around the world for this APB World Tour.
I mean, those two traveling together. And I talked to them and hung out with them the other night at Kiosco Numero 4. We had a reggae band that was live. It was awesome. And he was there. Cristobal wasn't. He was home, sleeping, resting. But, he was telling me, you know what, if it wasn't for my son, I wouldn't be here. So I'm really stoked on the APB and my son to be able to be here and enjoy this with my friends. Okay. So Joao Zeke's last wave, again, landing almost on dry sand as he pulls off that roll and rides up onto the sandbank. But, yeah, tough conditions here for that first day of round number 1 of the main event. Heat number 3 currently out in the water. You can see the situation on your screen. But Cristobal Fernandez clocking 2 solid scores. Joao Zeke right on his tail. Udi Valadao, he's right in the mix of things. But Brahim struggling a bit, trying to find those waves that are going to, offer up those big high-scoring maneuvers. But you know what? We're going to see all these riders again.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see him again in round number 3. We'll see all the successful ones. The guys that come 3rd and 4th, we'll see them in round number 2. So I hope you're enjoying the action, folks. It's as we said, it's after last year's amazing conditions. That swell where Ian Campbell got the 10-point ride last year.
Oh my!
Yeah, that was they were calling that one of the best swells of the season. So we were really lucky last year, and unseasonably warm weather here in Brazil for the wintertime. Look, we've got the same thing in Australia. It wasn't until just after I'd left Australia about a month and a half ago that it even started to get remotely cold, Manny. So, I think this old, this dirty old circle that we call Earth is starting to really heat up, and things are changing on planet Earth. There's no doubt about that.
It's crazy that some people don't see that happening, but you can totally see it and feel it. And, Mother Nature is just trying to balance herself out.
Yep, that's right. But anyway, we did our bit the other day with beach cleanup. Went right through the beach, picking all the plastic and styrofoam up.
That was cool.
It was really cool. Have a look at this one, Manny. This looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looks like Brahim. Oh, quick bail. Did he go over the falls as well?
I think he did.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. That was interesting. He did have priority. A last-minute pullback, but decided to, bail out and went over the falls. Here we go. Joao Zeke coming around that frothy section and not much there. So Cristobal Fernandez and Udi Valadao. I believe it is Cristobal Fernandez now with priority.
Mm-hmm. Coming up next, we'll see. Here's the replay. Ooh, nice little move right onto the sand again. The people like to set themselves up right on the water's edge here in Brazil, and when the tide comes in, everyone gets swamped. You see it every day. Coming up next, PLC will take on Socrates Santana from Brazil, Kevin Torres, and Hermano Castro, legendary man.
Yes, Hermano. He's always popping up in these events, and it would be so amazing to see him, actually. Oh, there's that bailout last section. He did go over the falls. Brahim.
That's a bit embarrassing, but we've all done that many in our day.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe he got sucked over the falls.
That just goes to show the power. It's only a little way, but Brahim looked like a frog in a blender right there, just like arms and legs going all over the show. He went over the handlebars, and that was pretty cool.
Well, we do have a couple injuries on the list. Brahim, he's taking care of a hurt shoulder. I'm not quite sure from what. I think he might have mentioned from bodyboarding. PLC is also, catering to his shoulder. But it's funny because both of these guys didn't care when they had that first social project for the event where they took out kids in the shore break. And Brahim and PLC were getting some of the biggest waves with kids. And I'm like, dude, you guys have, hurt shoulders. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But they're like, well, we're having fun with the kids.
Oh, gee, the kids had a great day, a great time that day. It was so good to see all the smiling faces. And, that's part of the mission with our social work on the APB is to try and go out there and, give kids an opportunity that they might not normally have to learn from the world's best. So it's a great initiative from Alex Leon, our illustrious CEO, hopefully watching back there in Australia. Alex, we've got Cristobal Fernandez, 6.33 and a 5.17. Zhao Zik, of course, in second spot, the local. He grew up in a house not far from here, and that looked like a pretty solid move from Uri Valadao, and he's been a bit quiet, the 2008 world champion.
Yeah, and Brahim got a little bit of that as well. So both of these riders at the third and fourth place spot, finding a solid score at the end, coming down to the wire here in heat number 3. So heat number 4 coming up. You just heard who's on tap. But yeah, I mean, again, download stackedapp.com, and you'll get real-time live scores of what's happening out in the water. Here's another look at what went down between these two. Big extended roll and going for a flip on the inside. I believe that was Brahim in red and Uri down the beach in white with a big extended roll. Nothing has changed as far as the situation out in the water. Cristobal and Joao holding steady in first and second place.
Okay, so looks like Uri Valadao, 5.1 on that last wave. Moved him up in the third spot. Zhao Zik, of course, the local, has got a bit of an edge on him. Here's Zik at the moment. He hasn't got the priority out wide. That looked like Toothy Fernandez from Rapa Nui, just exercising his right to take that wave. Again, just a picture-perfect day here in Brazil. A little bit of high, wispy cloud, but apart from that, Manny, it is just another cracking day here in Itacoatiara.
Yeah, it was Cristobal and Joao on that wave. Both of them able to pull off almost identical rolls on their maneuvers there. So it was pretty cool to see that them going for it. And Joao was too far back to create any type of see how far back he was there. So Joao pulling off the roll, and then answering back right in front of him is Cristobal Fernandez.
They both slid up the beach at the same time. That looked like a couple of kids finishing off a ride on a slippery dip. So, awesome stuff here, folks. Hope you're enjoying the action. As we said, it's not epic, but we just needed to get this round underway. And the reason behind that was so we could give everyone a second chance. In tomorrow, we can start with the rapid charge round. If we didn't do that, it would have been pretty much cutthroat, back to a cutthroat 4-man heats with man-on-man quarter semis and finals for tomorrow. But it looks like the swell is definitely coming. I don't know if it's going to be as big as what we first hoped for. 2 or 3 days ago, we spoke about 6 to 8 footers. I don't know. I'd be happy with anything at the moment, Manny, to tell you the truth. And you know what we've been dealing with? A full moon over here. Of course, everybody's got the same full moon right around the world. So that full moon makes the surf, forecasting a little more unpredictable than normal.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have super high tides and super low tides. And that could make a difference, especially in this situation where it's more of a shore break wave. So that high tide can completely wipe out any type of wave action coming up onto the shore. I mean, it's going to land on the shore, but it's going to be very, very tough for the riders.
Yeah, you betcha. So right now we're down to around about 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. Uri Valadao is in, he's in third spot, but he doesn't need too much to go up into second. Scores showing the scores required actually to go to first at the moment. I think we might have to look at adjusting that just so the beach announcer can let the guys in third what they need to, let them know what they need to get a second. And Brahim Idoish, of course, a bit of a sleepy start there for our friend from Morocco.
See the guy in the yellow singlet on the sand right there, walking with a jug and that ice chest, the yellow ice chest.
Yeah.
That is one of the main reasons why I love Itacoatiara, because you can set up your tent, set up your chairs, set up your umbrella, and there's a ton of those guys walking up and down the beach who are offering up very affordable, tasty sandwiches.
Yeah.
And that jug of he has what they call maite, and it's just a sweet tea, and you don't have to leave the beach. They will serve you food. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, everything. Yesterday we were up in on Sunday, rather, we're up at the kids' pool up the other end where the Shock is. It's a really cool little place for the kids and mums and dads to hang out. And there was guys up there selling watches. It's liquor. You can buy anything around here, Manny. That is for sure. So it was interesting stuff. But back at home, they don't let people do this sort of stuff. You need a food license, and you need a special permit from the council and stuff. But here they just seem to be. It's a great way for people to make money, and selling ice blocks, drinks, sandwiches. I got a sandwich the other day. It was probably one of the best sandwiches I've ever eaten in my life. I'm not kidding you. So it's just another unique part of life here in Brazil.
And I think I mentioned to you, but I have a group of bodyboarders back home who are, totally down when I put together a trip. And I mentioned to them, 2020, I'm putting together a trip during the Itacoatiara Pro because everybody has to experience this event firsthand. It's pretty amazing. Here we go. Out the back, it is Joao Zeke. Big flip. Can he pull that thing around? Yes, he does. And he lands up and slides up on to the beach. You can hear all the way, a quarter mile away, some whistles of the local legend fans from here. You can hear the whistling. So Joao Zeke having his support crew cheering him on as he pulls off that big move. I think that might be enough to get him into that first place spot. He was looking for a 5.84, and that maneuver right there was pretty solid. So we will see in the last few seconds of this heat. So here's another look at that maneuver right there. So big backflip, lands backwards, and he does pull that thing around and slides up onto the beach. And Joao waiting for that score to drop. And we can see those scores. If you scroll up, you'll be able to see what all the scores are going to dropping. I see sevens.
Wow.
Yes, so sevens are dropping there.
Okay, so Joao Zeke, as we mentioned, a local here, he's about 2 or 3 streets back. This is Itacoatiara is a bit of it's a gated community with a police station right in front of the only gate that, is the entry and exit point to the whole town. So it's a very safe part of the world, and Joao Zeke just living on the other side of that gate. Here's a replay here, and he's just been in really great form, and a nice little ARS right up onto the sand, and again, you'll see him right up, and he completes that one, no problemo. So there we go. It's looking like it is a wrap on that one. So Joao Zeke will take that here. It looks like Tufi Fernandez from Rapa Nui will finish in second spot. Uri Valadao, that's a bit of an upset, Manny, with the 2008 world champion, down into the repercharges, and fourth place will go to Brahim Idoish from Morocco.
Oh, my. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, you're going to see everybody in round number 2 or round number 3, depending on their placing. So you saw a quick look at who's in this heat. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the Itacoatiara Pro right after this.
A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
What's up, everybody? Manny V here and Teza McKenna. Sorry if I had my hand too high, but we are here bringing you the live feed from the Itacoatiara PRO, day number 1 of the main event, and the conditions are there, totally contestable, so the riders are trying to get that first and second place spot to advance on into round number 3. And round number 2, it's going to cater to the people who come in 3rd and 4th place. So here is who is out in the water.
Okay, so of course, former world champion Pierre-Louis Costes, for me, one of the most professional guys on tour, of course, along with Amore and a bunch of others. But you know, Pierre's just been a real poster child for this sport for a long time, representing France. Of course, it's a real nice little roll up here at the moment. And Kevin Torres, of course, is out there. Who else we got in the water there, Manny?
Yes, we have Socrates Santana from Rio de Janeiro in the white jersey. He is definitely a contender to win this event if the conditions serve up a little bit bigger waves, as he loves the big stuff, indeed. So there you have it. In blue, Hermano Castro. In red, PLC, multiple world champion. Socrates Santana, junior world champion. In white, and Joao Zeke. Oh, look at that big backflip from PLC. Kevin Torres will be in yellow, but PLC throwing it down.
Oh, yeah, and PLC's had his shoulder taped up big time, man. He's got a pretty gnarly shoulder injury he's dealing with, so he's been taking it pretty easy for the week here. Luckily, he's had a lot of time to recuperate from that injury. Of course, we had his young son, Benjamin, 2-year-old birthday the other night. And, of course, Ruth and Pierre had a nice little party we all went to, and that was a pretty special moment, Manny Vargas.
Yes, Benjamin, their son, turning 2 years old. I can't believe it's been 2 years already.
Crazy.
And, yeah, they came over to Itacoatiara Inn, and it was awesome. Nelson and the family actually made a cake.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was pretty cool to have that go down right here in our inn. So we didn't get to miss it. It came to us, which was pretty awesome. So happy birthday to Benjamin, PLC, and Ruth. It's always great to see you two in here in Itacoatiara.
Okay, so we're down to, right now we're down, here's a little on, going to come back to that spiel, and wow, just capturing a bit of the action. These guys are right down in the southern corner of Pumpo here on Itacoatiara, and Manny and I are actually at the other end of the beach, so it's probably around about 300 or 400 meters of distance between the two podiums. Here's the replay for Pierre. So lovely little backflip there. He's just got those things so dialed up, and he rides up onto the sand. So there we go, folks. We're into it. It's heat number 4, and it's round number 1 of this first Grand Slam for 2019.
Okay, so there you have it. Out in the water, PLC looking very strong with that 7.67. And Socrates Santana looking strong. Hermano Castro and Kevin Torres out in the water with only a 0.5, and that is his only wave in the water. 20 minutes remaining, and again, non-elimination. You're going to see all these riders once again, whether it's in round number 3, first and second will go straight into round number 3. Third and fourth will go have one more chance in round number 2, and it is then that you will see things go down where you may get eliminated.
Okay, so right now we've got just on 20 minutes remaining. So Pierre dropping some pretty good numbers there, 7.67. So judges awarding those more technical manoeuvres, and nice little score there for Pierre. This is a replay of that 7.67. You can see him set it up, bang, and again, just a really perfect kind of a execution there for Pierre, and that tide is coming in, and these guys are surfing right onto the sand here at Itacoatiara. But to a man, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, we did have a meeting, and we said, look, the swell might pick up. In fact, this is a slightly bigger wave coming through down in now, and we thought that with the rising swell and the incoming tide, it's going to bring the swell with it. It's also going to push the action a little closer towards the shore breaks. Right now, Socrates Santana, of course, a former world junior champion and now a member of the illustrious top 24 from Brazil, rides up onto the sand on that one. So heat number 4 is underway. Right now we're down to just on 18.5 minutes remaining. Again, a big shout out to the Niterói Municipalidad, the local council here, and the Department of Sport. Everyone involved with the competition has done a fantastic job, including our promoter, of course, is Juliana Lara. Just there's a nice little replay. Yeah, that was pretty technical stuff. And whoa, how was the bounce there? He almost scorpioned off the end of that thing, Manny.
Oh my God, that was like there was no water between his board and the sand, but he was able to pull that off. That was pretty insane. All right, so again, taking another look at what we got going on for today's lineup.
Yep, so just 8 heats, 25 minutes for each of those, and well, we've got a CEO. He is watching from way down under from Kaima in New South Wales. Alex Leon, how are you, mate? And it's very early in the morning for Alex. Manny's just on the phone now, getting that sorted out for you, buddy. So, and also a bit of a shout out to Kirsty Alana watching the webcast from right out the front here as well. Of course, I've got my girlfriend with me all the way from Australia as well. So we got 16.5 minutes left on the clock. A lot of cool stuff coming away, folks. We've got some really nice heats still yet to come. So hang in there with us. This is heat number 4 that is currently underway. So far, Semi Moratino, Marcela Bastos, they were first and second in heat round number 1, heat 1. Diego Cabrera took out heat number 2. And then it was Gabriel Braga in second spot for the Brazilian. João Zik, the local kid, beat Tufi Fernandez. Cristobal, of course, from Rapa Nui, was in second. And we're in heat number 4 of the 8 heats at the moment. Coming up soon, former world champion Ian Campbell will take on Asias Havak, of course, the Brazilian. Joshua Toledo, the former ISA World Junior Champion, and Sergio Machado Jr. from Brazil. That's going to be the next heat. After this one, then we'll go into heat number 6. Tristan Roberts, Eda Luciano, David Barbosa, and Adi Silva, of course, from Brazil. That'll be a pretty good one. He's a Rio de Janeiro rider. Heat number 7, Patrick Orr, Alan Munoz, Kalani Latanzi, Davis Blackwell. And heat number 8 will feature Tanner McDaniel taking on Louis Finnegan, Nelson Flores, and Maxime Orsina. So you can see a little bit of a crowd down there, Manny, for a Tuesday in work day here in Brazil. They love the coastline here, mate, don't they?
So a Tuesday morning in winter. That's what we're looking at right there.
Pretty
cool.
My
gosh. So, yes, I mean, with the swell building and the tide coming up, I mean, we still have hope that, we can run through all 8 heats with some contestable waves. Here's PLC on his previous wave. Another backflip, this time on the left. You would not have known that he is actually, taking care of a hurt shoulder.
Yeah, he's got a pretty bad one actually. He really clubbed it about a month ago, and he's been in in recuperation mode since then. Got it all taped up and stuff, but he's not holding back. He's never been one to hold back, that's for sure. So Pierre already holding on to 2 really good scores, and wow, he's come right out of the blocks with a couple of big numbers for the Frenchman. So jump onto the APB Facebook page, folks, and let us know what you think. Again, it's only the early days here. We've been waiting around for 8 days now for the waves to break. We had 1 day of the trials where it was, 2 feet and pretty fun. In fact, if we rewind back to that day, Manny, I'd be happy to take that trials day again.
I would too, but it looks like coming unglued down the beach on that left-hander. That is our rider in white. That is Socrates Santana. And Teza, what do we got?
Yeah, we got an interview with the winner of the previous heat. Of course, he's a local bloke. He's grew up here in Itacoatiara his whole life. So, Paola, let's take it away with a live interview with João Zik, the local. Take it away.
Hi everyone, we are here with João Zic, our local boy from here. Really proud of you, my friend. How was the waves there? He got a really good hit because the hit was really like Uri Valadão for the winner for the World Tour, Brahim, and the Chile guy that's really strong too. So what do you make to make the difference in these little waves that's not for you?
It's not easy the conditions today, but I'm a local boy right here, and I just looking for the best wave. We can find a couple good rides right there, and there I just waiting for the good one and try to do my better. I found 2 back flips, 5.5, and another set 7.5. I'm so stoked to be here with my family on the beach, with all my buddies right here on the beach. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. And won the last hit.
Ele falou que está muito feliz, além de contar com a torcida local também, que todo mundo adora o surf do Zic também, e todo mundo torce demais para ele. Tá com a namorada, a namorada não tá aqui, né? Mas tá com a família, tá todo mundo aqui, e a gente está muito feliz por você. O que você vai fazer para fazer a diferença para amanhã, né? Que agora você vai só descansar. What are you gonna do to make the difference for the next hit?
I think the swell is coming for tomorrow. Big waves are coming. And there I got my body ready for all the challenge, and I got the good board, my new sponsorship right now, and I'm so happy with all the support, and let's gonna do the best one right here, all in for the next hits.
Falou que está muito feliz com o novo patrocinador dele de prancha, que é do Rubber, né? Você acha que fez a diferença essa pranchinha? Make the difference, the new board?
Yeah, just when I put my body up on this board, I can fly because the brand is from Jeff Huber, and he flies so much. And with that board, I can fly always too.
He's from Jeff, so he say that's gonna copy Jeff with this, gonna fly like him.
Let's do it.
Parabéns, Zic. Congratulations. We see you to the next round. See you tomorrow.
Obrigado, Paulinha. Valeu todo mundo do Brasil que torceu por mim aí nessa última bateria. Tô felizão por poder representar Itacoatiara. Toda a minha galera que torce por mim, meus amigos do trabalho do mergulho, todo mundo. Tô super feliz aqui de estar nas oitavas de final representar Niterói, Itacoatiara. Aloha!
Valeu, querido. Tchau, tchau. Até amanhã. Back to you guys.
Okay,
man.
Stuff there, and that was pretty informative stuff there, of course, with that interview with Paola and Jolzik, the local, who put on a fantastic performance, bumped out the former and probably more highly ranked Uri Valadão back down into the requalification rounds tomorrow. But for now, we've got 11 minutes left on the clock, and here's a replay of some of the waves that happened. So it's again right on the shore here at Itacoatiara. If we didn't surf these 8 heats here today, the boys wouldn't have had 2 opportunities to compete. And again, this was a collective decision from the riders who looked at conditions this morning and said, let's just go. Let's go for it now. And we said, okay, let's do it. So here we are, folks, for day number 1 of the main event of the first Grand Slam for 2019. Of course, from here, the next Grand Slam will be a big one in Antofagasta. And a big shout out to Arturo Soto and all the Glenn and all the team that's working hard over there in Chile. Of course, the very next event on the World Tour will be the Bella Vista Bodyboard Pro, and that will be taking place at Punta Dos, an incredible wave in Iquique. Iquique, of course, has got 21 waves in the metropolitan area alone, and it's probably one of the best setups that I've ever seen, Manny, outside of the Magic Mile of Hawaii, like from, say, Waimea all the way through to Velziland. The second best piece of reef on planet Earth for me. I guess there's some better ones in Indo, possibly, but maybe as far as being in a city and accessible is Iquique. It's an incredible spot.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those places that is pretty magical, and I can't wait to get back there. I've only been there once. And I want to do some more exploration. And in fact, I've been getting a few messages from some of the ladies who are already there. They will be competing as well. So it's going to be pretty fun to see everybody again and to see what they can do in these pretty tough conditions, actually. It's a pretty heavy wave, very shallow, but very perfect for bodyboarding. So we'll be there in just a few days. But now we are currently here at the Itacoatiara Pro, round number 1, heat number 4, the halfway mark of round number 1. And today we're going to see all the completion of round number 1 hopefully, if Mother Nature decides not to just absolutely take a break. But things are shaping up. Swell energy is in the water. Tide is coming up, but I think the waves will, will combat that high tide with delivering some waves. But we're going to have to wait and see as the day progresses. But you can see the riders are clocking some scores. PLC 7s, 6.67, a 7.07, and Socrates with a 6 and 4.
Yeah, totally contestable, just a little tricky with that high tide. And we're right down on the southern end of the beach here at Itacoatiara, and you can see the rocks. One of the reasons that this beach is so wedgy, at both ends of the beach, Manny, what you have is angled rocks on this end. It's a really kind of a low slopey angle, around about 20 degrees on the northern end. Of course, up there on the northern corner where the left-handers come through, it's much more of an obtuse kind of an angle, probably around about 45 or 50 degrees. So what happens is, as the waves come into the beach, they wash from one end and wash from the other, and they create this incredible triangulation. And that's why the beach is famous for those big A-frame peaks of Itacoatiara. That's what we've been hoping for, but unfortunately, again, things are out of our control when it comes to the conditions and the amount of swell that is available. The swell, it looks like it's coming, and it's supposed to come this afternoon.
Well, that's what everybody is hoping for. But you know what? They got to deal with what is delivered right now. We are underway here in round number 1. Heat number 4. We're at about 10 minutes remaining in this heat. But, man, PLC, you would never know that he is, taking care of a hurt shoulder. But Socrates Santana, Hermano Castro, Kevin Torres, we're all going to see them again, whether it's in round 3 or in round number 2. First and second will be catapulted into that third round. And third and fourth place, looks like there's some paddling out the back. It's blue. Hermano Castro digging hard to get in position, and there he goes, up and riding. Hermano Castro, nice clean bottom turn, pulls a big roll, but gets caught in the wrong spot on the landing, and you can just see him. It just stopped dead in his tracks and lost his board as well. So Hermano Castro, he's going to make that short paddle in and grab his board.
Yeah, he's a classic. I've been hanging out with that guy for a long time now. He's a member of the back in the former association days when 2011, 2012, chugging around on a pretty good world tour. Hermano was there, in those days, and still a really experienced campaigner, probably one of the most experienced campaigners here in Brazil. Here's the replay of Hermano, and that was an attempt at ARS actually, so you could see him just a little late to the show there, and he paid the price.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little reverb going up the face of the wave as he catapulted into the sky, and that set everything off Kinder, and he wasn't able to pull it off.
Okay, so coming up in the next week, we'll see former world champion Ian Campbell. Of course, Ian is our defending champion of the competition here in Itacoatiara. So he posted a perfect 10-point ride in the semi-finals against... I forget who it was against. Maybe against Tristan. No, Tristan was in the final, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the battle of the South Africans here last year.
Yeah, that's right. So, Ian's coming along. I think from heats 5 through to 8, they're gonna be. It's gonna be hard. And this was like when we had the conversation with the riders today. This was my main point of the topic. I said, is we need to be able to finish the round. And we looked at the forecast, and I guess we took a bit of a punt, really, by well, not us, because it was the riders who ultimately decided to surf this round here today. We asked for a show of hands, so it was a really diplomatic sort of a
everybody.
decision. Yeah, and Giuliano, who's the promoter. Normally it's a Giuliano, myself as the technical director, Chico Garitano as the head judge, and Josh Kirkman as the riders' representative. That's normally the people that decide those big decisions. But Giuliano said to me, Tez, let the riders decide, man. They've been waiting around all week. And so when we asked them, about 95% of them put their hand up and said, let's just go for it today.
I mean, that sets us up perfectly for having an incredible day of action tomorrow. We'll have one full day from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, where we will be starting off with round number 2 and then working our way through to the final.
Yeah, that's right. Starting off with the repechage round, actually. The 3rd and 4th place getters from this round here today, they'll be the first guys in the water tomorrow. So, not long remaining in this seat. I'm going to jump out after this one finishes, and we'll get Josh Kirkman. So, got about 6 minutes to get himself all sorted out. And I did a little interview with his Laboogie podcast the other day. We talked about some interesting stuff. I can't wait to see that one when it goes live. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, no. Wasn't there the Chileans getting all rowdy during that interview?
Yeah. You'll hear it and probably see bits and pieces of it. But yeah, it was really cool, and he's doing a great job with that one. So make sure you check that stuff out. But for now, we're down to just on 6 minutes remaining. So Pierre again with some big numbers in there. Manny, he's got a 7.67 and a 7.07. So how's that for numbers for the multiple world champion Pierre-Louis Costes? Socrates Santana right now sitting in second spot. We've got Hamano is in third. Kevin Torres, wow, he's been pretty quiet.
Look at this. We got some paddling going on right now. White and blue. Big backflip. Oh, my. That was a huge projected backflip right there.
That?
I want to say that was White. I mean, it's either Kevin Torres or Socrates Santana.
Socrates.
It was Socrates Santana.
Wow.
Probably the most projected move we've seen all day. That was incredible. And it was, I believe, Hermano Castro, who was, further ahead on the wave, who also did a maneuver, but not as projected as Socrates Santana.
That was insane to watch. That's going to be a big score there. And what was he needing to try and take the lead on that one? I don't think he needed too much. It was like, he needed 8.58. Here's the replay.
Look at Socrates Santana in white. Just a perfect timing with a little bit of that backwash and just gets fully projected, lands backwards, and was able to whip that thing around and slide forward up the sandbank. That was massive.
Yeah, good stuff there from the
Are we going to see a golden boom?
Champion. Oh, I don't know. Maybe, are we? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it is small conditions, but we do have the golden boom ready, and we got to use it before all the flakes come off of it. But the golden boom is ready.
Yeah, you can't squeeze your hand on that thing until we're actually going to give the 10-point ride. Otherwise, all the gold paint's going to come off.
Oh, no.
But, we always leave to buy those things and usually leave them in the town where we came from. Someone puts it on their mantelpiece, and it's a memento for years to come.
Yes, that's right. And I actually got one of those in Arica last year, and I had I didn't expect to find something down there, but they did, and they had it here. So, yeah, we'll most likely leave this one here too. So, again, thank you all for tuning in to the live feed here on the APB Tour Facebook and YouTube page. We can't thank you enough for supporting. And you know what? Throw down a couple comments. Good, bad, and ugly. We're always here to listen. And give us some constructive criticism if you do have something to say. But otherwise, we love to hear from you from where you're tuning in from. Because we know some of you are staying up really late and some of you are just waking up. Out the back, Kevin Torres, the Chilean, who is super stoked to be on that top 24. Quick little roll on the inside and slides up the beach. So Kevin Torres is one of the few that are now on the top 24. Look at this, up and riding, PLC.
Okay, so Pierre gets off that one pretty quickly. But, buenas tardes, muchachos.
Yes.
Mi nombre es Tessa McKenna. No, lo siento, no hablo español en poquito.
Well, Socrates Santana speaks Portuguese, so he won't be able to understand you. But nice, clean roll. Oh, water's coming up and over the sandbank, taking out some towels and iPhones. So clear the water. Tide's going to keep on coming up. Or clear the sandbank because it's coming. Here we go.
Okay, so, the cream always rises to the top. So Pierre-Louis Costes finding some absolute gems, and he's had to pan for the goal down here this afternoon. There's only a couple of good scores that come through during every 20-minute period. And again, you can see that slopey rock on the Pampo end of the beach here, the southern end of Itacoatiara. Just sends a nice little kind of sidewash back towards the buoys, and it creates some pretty incredible conditions. Tomorrow, we're hopeful of a much bigger swell, but for now, that looks like a wrap on that one, Manny. I think that's the end of the heat. Here's a replay. Take us through this.
Yeah, this was Socrates Santana's last wave. A quick little roll. He'll ride that thing up onto the beach. And that is the water coming up and over the bank. But that could be it, ladies and gentlemen. So PLC and Socrates Santana advance on into round number 3. Third and fourth are going to be going into round number 2. You're going to see them again. Coming up next is heat number 5. We'll be back right after this.
A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
All right, so
Sorry.
we get like at least a 0.5 second reminder that we're going live, of course, but we're gonna get it to like 5 seconds, so we'll get a countdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Itacoatiara Pro
G'day.
here in Brazil. Joining in the hot seat, aka Josh Brigette Kirkman.
Yeah. Hey, Manny. Good to be here.
Good to have you here. So now, firsthand take on the conditions out there.
They are tough, but they are what we have. So that's it. You know, like we made a call. The riders got together. We all said what we thought about the conditions and what the forecast was saying about tomorrow. And yeah, like some guys wanted to have. Well, in the end, it was overwhelming majority who decided to have this round today and then follow up with a repechage and finish the competition tomorrow. But yeah, look, it's just been a tough. It's been a tough waiting period, you know. You can't do much about this. You can do nothing about this, actually. So we've got some waves to work with. There's some good scores dropping. It's tough. You know, it's hard for an old guy like me to try and get the scores I need. But you know, that's life. Yeah, we'll just do what we can with what we've got, and hopefully this world picks up tomorrow.
Well, I mean, it's been over a week so far. I mean, and what is yourself and the rest of the crew that you've been talking to? How are they able to focus mentally? I mean, when it's been over a week, and nothing for waves, zero.
Yeah, I think everyone here is pretty well kind of adjusted to the game of it all. So we just kind of do our own thing. I work a lot. Like I'm always on my computer doing stuff because I work remotely. So I just kind of get on with my work life and do a few podcast episodes with people like yourself and Tezza and whatnot. But I think other guys just relax and enjoy it. I mean, it's a really beautiful place to be in. Like Itacoatiara is a paradise. So to be here in this type of weather, I mean, it's like it's been a retreat as well, I think, for the week. So, yeah, I don't think anybody's really complaining. We'd, of course, love to have more waves. We'd like to complete the event for ourselves, but also for the fans, the audience watching and whatnot in better conditions that people can be a bit more excited about. But, you know, at the end of the day, you get the cards you dealt with and you make the best with them. So we're here. And, yeah, I think there's good stuff happening, you know?
Yeah.
This is where bodyboarding happens for most people too.
Well, let's get out there and see some bodyboarding right now. I mean, we do have heat number 5 out in the water.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already downloaded Stacked, make sure you get it and watch the live scores and live stream. Let's get out into the water and see the action. Vamos a la praia. Vamonas. I'd have to throw in Portuguese sometimes. Our crew here.
Yeah, there we are. We're at the beach.
As soon as I use Portuguese, it works.
Okay.
so out in the water.
Like Sergio Machado Jr. is the Brazilian trialist who made it through. Joshua Toledo from Chile. We have Asaias Reivik from Brazil. He was the winner of the QEST last year, I believe. And then Ian Campbell from South Africa, 2017 world champ, all-round nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very exciting heat to watch. Isaias, he has been on a pretty intense training program. As you can see, scores have already dropped for this heat. We'll get some replays of the waves that went down. But Joshua Toledo looking very strong right off the bat. In yellow, he has a 4.67 and a 4.2. Ian Campbell, 4.83 and a 4.
Striking in now on one towards the shore there.
Not much there.
Okay, so do we have another camera angle that is a bit closer, or
we're pulling another long camera cable to get down there. But,
okay, so this is what we're working with. All right, cool. So we just saw, I think that was Isaias completing that roller onto the sand there as well. So yeah, this beach at the moment, there's a lot of sand that's built up. You can see that really kind of steep entrance to the water there. It's literally just been flat all week, so with the small waves, it's just kind of been eating away. When we arrived, there were some really good banks in the corner, but yeah, this week of flat waves has really affected the beach. Got blue paddling here now, having a look. We also had white splitting the peak there, another roller onto the shore. Yeah, this is tough conditions. I think that I actually haven't seen the last couple of heats, but what happened? I think Pierre managed to find a few good ramps in his heat.
Yeah, I think he has probably the highest scoring combination of waves so far. So yeah, PLC is he locked in that first place spot. He's going straight into the round number 3. But no, it's been pretty solid. I'll pull that up right now in Stacked, just so we can bring everybody up to speed. And you can do it yourself under the APB Tour live webpage. If you scroll down, you can actually go check out other results. But here's a quick little look of Eco Point.
Yeah, Eco Point. They're actually replanting a bunch of trees around here. It's one of the initiatives, one of the sponsors of the event, and they're doing a bit of reforestation in the area, which is really cool. Can't plant enough trees these days, to be honest.
Yeah, even though we're surrounded.
We are in a tropical paradise, but yeah, I think it's a little bit of remediation that they're trying to achieve.
Here you go.
Yeah, so I've got the Stacked app in front of me. Do download this app and use it. It's free and it's really helpful. Yellow just went a left towards the rock. We're kind of missing it with this angle, so apologies to the viewers for that one. So the previous heat was Pierre-Louis Costes. 14.74 was his total heat score, so that's quite impressive, although Sammy Moritino still has the highest one of the event in my heat. Thanks, Sammy. But yeah, Socrates coming in there. Yeah, look, it's the tough conditions, and you know, guys have to dig deep to find the scores. There's no free rides here. But yeah, as I said, you know, of course these are tough conditions to compete in. Of course these are tough conditions to watch, but this is part of the deal. Sometimes when you come and have competitions, you know, you don't get to decide whether the waves turn up. It's not a wave pool. And looking left.
All right, looks like Red dropping in and doing a maneuver. So camera 2, we're going to make sure he's got his coffee up there to make sure he's following the action.
Sure.
And it looks like that we got some scratching for an outside set. Yellow in position. Joshua Toledo looking very solid.
We may have just had a bit of an interference there. I don't know who actually had priority on that wave. So we definitely have had some interaction there between yellow and white. Ian now looking left again. I think it's quite... We've got a replay there of Ian a bit more punched in so we can see. So he bottom turned and got a nice little roller, I think, onto the sand, or a bit of a barrel. Yeah, pretty tough angle to be shooting this from, so apologies to the viewers. But
yeah, I think what happened was the vote was was taken and agreed upon to run today.
Yep.
And the entire production crew had less than a half hour to get things situated.
Sure.
So I know for a fact that tomorrow, for that one solid day of action, we are going to have a couple cameras down there bringing you the live feed from Pompo.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone would appreciate that. Yeah, thanks everyone for persisting with the live stream. Do we do the Facebook thing? Anyone interacting on Facebook and getting some love there, or what's the go?
Of course we are.
How do we do that?
We will pull that up right now as the riders are waiting patiently on the outside.
Let's do that. Let's have a bit of engagement with the fans.
Yeah, Teza was actually in charge of that. when he was sitting here. So let me pull it up right here, and we'll
Okay.
just pull that up. As if you see live action, make sure you
Yeah,
jump
I
right
got
in.
this, Manny. I've got this.
All right, so are we here? Yes, we are here. Let's take a look. All right, I know there's been here we go. We got a few.
What do we got?
The first three up top.
First three. Oh, here we go. So shout from Durban, South Africa. We got Leilani Kavanagh. Thanks for tuning in, Leilani. Hope you're enjoying it. Shout out for Ian Campbell from the Kavanaghs. I'll pass that on when he gets in from his victory, maybe. What else we got?
We should have 17 minutes.
Yeah, I
remaining.
know, but yeah, it's bloody Ian Campbell, you know. So I'd be pretty.
Joshua Toledo.
Yeah, I'd be pretty. I'd back him. He's a world champ.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, we got. Well, anyone out there watching, we've got. Were they the most recent comments or were they the most relevant? I think we've got most relevant. Let's go for recent.
Bingo.
Newest. Here we go. Show the heat, please. Yeah, Franz, we're watch. Yep, here's the heat. We're on. Nice to have you joining us. Not a lot of action. Camera angle's kind of challenging, so hopefully we can get a few right-handers. We'll see more of those. Ian Campbell having a look here on this wave, splitting the peak. Ian ducks out. Whoa, straight onto the sand there. Tough times. Michael Reed tuning in from WA. That's a little bit old now.
Check this out. Check this out. We may have some action. Yes,
Okay.
it looks like.
Another Rolo. Sergio Machado Jr. Yeah, that's one maneuver to go for. I mean, this is where the difference is, I think, in who's going to win these heats and who's going to kind of languish is are they able to get a bit more than a Rolo done on these conditions? So
Oh, it's looking tough right now.
Yeah, it
Tide
is.
is starting to come up. Conditions
paddle
are,
battle.
Oh, for priority.
Yeah.
Looked like White did get ahead of, that was Isaias Havoc beating out, I believe that was in White. That was Joshua Tile. No, in
No,
White.
Sergio
Isaias.
Machado.
All right, Sergio
In the
Machado.
blue.
They battled, and Isaias. I'm
got
pretty
it?
sure from this angle.
Does it have the priorities on the stacked or not? No.
I'm pretty sure they've been using it
Okay.
in the previous heats, but we'll find out.
Okay. Yeah, well, so here we are in Itacoatiara. Anyone watching, have you seen the... Have you been here before? Is there anyone listening or viewing who has been here and enjoyed this place? Let us know in the comments. Tell us your best experience of Itacoatiara.
There's a South African couple that's staying at the Itacoatiara Inn, and I'm like, so what are you guys doing vacationing here? We're like, well, you talked it up so much last year, we had to make sure it was on our Brazil stop.
There we go.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure they were actually talking that the girl in the relationship, you know, she has a little crush on Maxime Castillo.
Who doesn't?
And guess who opens the door as they walk into Itacoatiara Inn?
Bonjour.
Yep. So it was pretty cool. Here we go, riding up, and it is yellow. Little bounce and in and out for Joshua Toledo.
Looks as though the lefts are actually opening up a bit more now with this tide. So nice angle. Let's stick with this
my.
one, thanks. Okay, Ian
Campbell,
Campbell. Nice
perfect.
roll.
Nice
roll.
clean, cylindrical roll right there. That most likely will be his highest score of the heat for Ian Campbell.
Indeed, and a bit of love. We just had White there also launching a Rolo off the wedge. Isaias hoping to build on those scores he has. They're very average scores at the moment, so you know you want to be cracking above those. You want to be getting above a 5 to feel comfortable of a first or second progression. Here's Ian's roll, a nice replay. Got some good projection there. Strong landing, very clean.
Yeah, our 28-year-old Ian Campbell coming to us from Durban, South Africa.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Sniper Bodyboards, Churchill Fins, Sun Zapper, which he actually hooked me up with a tube of some sunscreen. I love that stuff. So send over some more Sun Zapper, please.
Here he is again, live action.
On the left. Goes for a nice roll. So Red Bull South Africa, 662 Mob Reflex wetsuits as well. So Ian Campbell putting it down for his sponsors here in the Itacoatiara Pro.
Yeah, here we go. I'd say that this second camera angle up above here is giving us a much better view of the left-handers. So hopefully we can get the team to maybe stick on that one. The long view really doesn't do much justice to that left. So hopefully they stick with this one and we can commentate from this angle because it does give us a better view. The backwash is coming into play pretty seriously now. it's these are tough conditions. Hoping that we can get another round started nice and early and with some better swell, and we can bring a bit more entertainment to you all.
What time are we starting tomorrow? Did we get that down confirmed?
I think terribly early.
Yes,
is probably the best definition for how we're going to start.
I think they may shoot for 7 o'clock. I mean, that's as early as we can get.
Yeah, I think so, with all of the team to get ready. But that's a good time to start. That'll give us the whole day to finish the event and start with the repechage round. And here we go, Blue, live action, stroking in. Looking for that little section onto the shore there. No love. No love.
That was Sergio Machado Jr. Unfortunately, he's got 2 low-scoring waves. Again, every wave, every rider you're going to see again in either round number 3 or round number 2. Non-elimination round for this start of the main event here at the Itacoatiara Pro.
Just quickly, while I've got a chance, a little bit of a gap in the entertainment, there's a lot of love coming through for Ian Campbell on the live stream. On Facebook. We've got James Jones. Go Ian Campbell, my brew. That's very South African. I'm assuming you're a South African, James, or just using the familiar term for brother in the South African dialect. Cameron Courtois, come Ian Campbell. Yeah, that's like come on maybe. Just drop the on. A little bit of live action now. Joshua Toledo. This is a replay of that Rolo that he got just before. He'll get a nice little score for that. Larice Nutt, watching from the UK. Shout out for Tristan and Ian. So a lot of love for the South Africans right now. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Really appreciate it. But yeah, one of the things we'd like to know, if anyone's watching and they're on the Facebook, let us know about your Itacoatiara experience. If you've had a chance to cruise by here, if you scored some decent waves, you had a good acai bowl, let us know how it felt to be in this beautiful part of the world. Yellow now stroking in. Just kind of missed that one.
All right, so Joshua Toledo in that yellow jersey. I mean, looking at the water right there, it looks like nothing's happening, but there are some sets rolling in, ladies and gentlemen, so definitely contestable. Josh was out there for that burst heat, the guinea pig. Sammy Martino, how is it competing with somebody who is going 100 miles an hour the entire time?
Well, I felt like I was going 100 miles an hour as well, so maybe my 100 and his 100 are different hundreds.
My God.
But for me, it was intense. Like, I was really trying to I needed to give myself as many opportunities as possible, but he's got a lot of energy, that guy, he operates at a higher RPM, I think, to the rest of us. But look, he's dynamite. He said to me when we came in from the heat, he's like, he's lucky. He's got some waves at home that he surfs just like this, pretty reliable. And it's just like this. So he's been practicing in these conditions, and that makes a difference. You gotta be able to practice in all conditions to be competitive on this tour. And this is my weakness. I don't get to practice in these types of conditions. And I'm 35 and sore. So Sammy's young and fit. It's kind of comes into play.
Well, I mean, you're nursing a shoulder,
like a lower back injury or some kind of tweak. So yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it doesn't stop me from. I was really happy with how I surfed, by the way. Like I didn't come in feeling bad about it at all. Like I managed to find a couple of waves, couple of scores that just weren't quite enough compared to the other guys. So I came in happy with my heat. So no excuses. Just the way it crumbles sometimes. The other guys got some better waves. But yeah, it's these conditions require a different type of energy level. They require a different type of strategy. Challenging is an understatement.
Well, I mean, there's a few other riders, PLC, Brahim. I think there's another rider out there that they're nursing, injuries.
Pierre's got his shoulder injury as well. He's been getting some treatment. I think it's his left shoulder. Brahim's carrying a bit of an injury.
Yep.
My injury came from skimboarding with bloody Tanner McDaniel on the shore break. So, yeah, that's my bad. But here we go. Blues up. Sergio Machado Jr. He's in third place. Doesn't need much at all to jump up into second, so he's chasing the right behind Joshua Toledo there. He needs to really get another score to lift himself up out there. You can see the judges really like that Rolo of Ian's. It got a nice bit of projection. It was a bigger wave. He got a 7.17, I think, for that. So that's the difference maker. You get a bit of pop off these sections and you're going to get better scores. The judges are really well situated to make the best decisions possible on these waves. They're right on the shoreline there. They can see everything. We could even like talk to them from the water. Like I yelled at them a couple of times.
Nice.
Just a few
What were you saying?
pieces of advice. We had some challenges with the beach announcer because there was 2 speakers working at different distances from the shore. So there was an echo. So whilst you could hear stuff, it wasn't very
Clear.
Yeah, audible.
All right. Well, it looks like we are coming down to the wire here for this heat number 5 out in the water, where we're getting past the halfway mark now with this heat coming down to the wire. But Ian Campbell looking very solid.
Yep.
Sergio Machado Jr. just getting knocked down to that 3rd place spot as Joshua Toledo's last
here we
wave.
go.
And
No,
then it was
Sergio got the last wave. So he's just jumped up.
Switched back into that 2nd place spot. Again, you're going to see all these riders either in round number 2 or round number 3, non-elimination round. Here we go. Isaias Havoc with a roll on the inside. And when these guys are landing these maneuvers, how deep is the water?
Oh, like centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much.
No. If you don't land on your board, you're gonna, it's in these conditions that you can get really hurt. I think, like, particularly if you want to launch something and you really want to get that score, like, yeah,
It could get ugly.
Yeah, I did one roll on my last wave, and I just kind of nosedived and was skimming on my chest on the sand.
Oh, no.
Sammy got a mouthful of sand as well on one, so yeah, that's the deal. Here we go, Sergio Machado as well, trying to solidify that 2nd placing. Yeah, tough conditions. Tough conditions. We're into heat 5 now, so we're going to be wrapping this. This is over in just over an hour, so let's hope we can complete the rest of this round.
Thank you all for tuning in one more time. We got Josh Brigitte Kirkman in the hot seat right now. He's actually competing. You're gonna see him in round number
2.
And
yes, Manny, I lost.
So if you haven't already done so, make sure you check out his podcast, Le Boogie. Pretty awesome stories with a lot of the riders, and I actually sat down with Teza a couple days ago, and we sat down too.
Yeah, we sat down. That wasn't a dream.
No, that happened. That
we had a beer. We had a chat.
That was
really
cool.
good. It was really good. It's nice to follow up. Like, I find it interesting. Like, every time I've done a podcast interview, I always leave the interviews kind of thinking to myself, like, damn, like I could have we could have sat for 2 hours, like, and you probably have the same feeling with Boog Life, like you sit down with these people and, like, there's so many questions you've got, and some of the locals enjoying the beach as well. You have so much more to say and ask of those people. So it's a super, so it's great to follow up. You're the first time I've followed up with someone with the podcast, and it was really fun.
Yeah, no.
I appreciate your time.
The one time I felt like, wow, I think I got everything is when I sat down with Scotty Carter for 4 hours.
Okay.
I just pressed record and we just sat and talked, and it was that was pretty fun. So Scotty,
I'm gonna have to listen to that one, but I need like a day.
It's a 4 parts. It's 4 parts.
Okay, sure.
But no, that was pretty fun. So
yeah,
leboogie.com.
I don't actually have a website yet. I haven't done that bit. I'm just relying off some live action. No. Flicking out of that one. Yeah, I'm just rocking through Instagram, Facebook, and then just different podcasting kind of platforms, the usual suspects. But just the Boogie podcast. But I actually caught a really nice interview with Patrick Orr last night. Nice. He's the latest one I interviewed, and man, I think it's actually one of the better interviews I've had, to be honest. It's so interesting. But enough about me. Joshua Toledo trying to fight out a 4th position here. Yeah, it's tough. To be honest, like, it doesn't look so different from the heat I was in. Like, I know the tide has changed a lot, but I feel like there's such a gutter there now that it actually doesn't fluctuate so much between the tide. I know we're a bit concerned about that, but it's not so different. But yeah, this is the downside of waiting periods and Mother Nature.
All right, I'm going to take a little quick peek at what we have on tap for that next heat.
This one's counting down. We're in the last few seconds here. It looks like we've got quite a definitive Ian Campbell victory. Sergio Machado Jr. is holding on to 2nd place, and this is another of the trialists who've managed to advance ahead of us, guys a bit more locked in. Looks like the timer on the APB there is stuck, or are we done? Did that end?
I know because they're probably down on the beach. The Wi-Fi and the timer are going to be a little off, but
okay.
So I mean, they are on point on the beach, but the scores are on point on Stack for sure.
Okay.
And I may need to do what these guys are doing too and pick up some gear for some friends back home. But ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are. If you look at Stacked, it looks like at the very end, Joshua Toledo may have taken that first place spot away from Ian Campbell. But nonetheless, both of those riders advance on into round number 3. EJS Havoc and Sergio Machado will go into round number 2. Coming up next, Tristan Roberts, Eder Luciano, David Barbosa, and Adajaldo Silva. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
Welcome back, everybody. Manny V and Josh Burgett Kirkman. Yes.
Here we are.
So, yeah, the last-minute scores dropped, and I stand corrected that last heat. Ian Campbell, Sergio Machado, EJS Havoc, and Joshua Toledo was the order of the placing for that last heat. So, now here we go into heat number 6. Let's go out into the water. Vamos a la playa.
Looks like David Barbosa's had a nice start to the heat. He's got a 6.17. Eder Luciano, a fellow Brazilian rider, has a 4.67. Tristan Roberts yet to put a score on the board. And we have also, what do we got here? Adajaldo? Adajaldo Silva? Yeah, yes. Okay. Have to try and get my pronunciation right on that, but yeah.
So Tristan Roberts, the lone South African, going against the 3 Brazilians, and all hungry to get into that first and second place spot to catapult over round number 2 and land into round number 3.
It would be a nice feeling to land in that round, but not everyone can make it. That's just the deal.
Yep. All right. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. This is the Itacoatiara Pro, day number 1 of the main event, and we're going to come down to the wire. This is heat 6 of 8. We're going to finish this round and most likely wait until tomorrow morning, bright and early, to run that first heat of round number 2 and the full day of action to go down in Itacoatiara. My name is Manny V, and Josh, me name. And Josh Burgett Kirkman here with me in the hot seat. So very, very tough conditions. Luckily, this is a non-elimination round. Top 2 riders go into 3, and 3rd and 4th go into round number 2. But Josh, these guys have been waiting around all week long, more than a week. And I mean, I asked you this earlier, but for those just tuning in, how do you stay focused?
Yep. Well, I mean, everyone here takes this seriously, so everyone's got their own way of kind of keeping their head in check in the lead up to an event like this. But knowing, I think what actually helps a lot is the forecasting is pretty clear. Like, we all knew that there were no waves for a long time. So it's not like we were waking up every day and hoping for something and then having that kind of emotional roller coaster of getting psyched up for a heat and then just kind of deflating and doing that. So, I mean, I feel like everyone here has taken the opportunity to relax, to enjoy this place that we're in. Niterói's special. I took a little trip into Niterói and then across on the ferry to Rio with my father-in-law, who came here to hang out for a while.
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. He went back to Uruguay.
Okay.
So so no, he come and hung out, and a hi to Francisco if he's watching. He may be watching. So yeah, it was nice. I just got to cruise along with him quite a lot. Me and him can talk each other's ears off for hours on end. So that was really cool to hang out with him. Everybody's just been running their own race, you know, like some guys like to do a bit of training. There's been a lot of hiking. Guys have been, you know, heading up different trails around here. So I feel like everyone's had a good chance to just enjoy the place more than previous years. We also did a nice beach clean the other day and managed to kind of provide a pretty disturbing picture of the amount of plastic that can be on a beach.
I went running earlier. Oh, hold on. We got a rider in blue, Adaldo Silva. A little bit slow paced here in this heat, but
here you go. Tristan's having a look.
Tristan looking right. Quick little half turn on the takeoff and was able to get a little projection off that lip and pull off that roll.
Totally.
That is going to be his first wave. But now in the running is Tristan. All the riders now have a 1 score on their scorecard.
They all have 1 score. I'm having flashbacks now. Nazare last year when I had a heat that we had to actually resurf because it was so close to shore. But at least last year, it wasn't like this year. It's not like 6 to 8 feet onto the shore. That's kind of nice. It's not the same intensity, but yeah, it's these are really tough conditions. And here's a replay we're going to get now of Tristan's Rolo. Just a quick, didn't do the full bottom turn, no time for it, but got a nice bit of pop with the backwash there and managed to squeeze a score out of that. 4.23, nice little score. That gets him on the board in 3rd position. David Barbosa holding on to 1st position at the moment. And man, like, I'm really happy to see Barbosa back in a competition jersey. No offense to all the other Brazilians, but he's my favorite. Like, I mean, his style and his technique, and he's such a dynamic rider.
The captain.
Yeah, he does some beautiful stuff. And so I'm stoked that he's in this event. And I believe he's coming to Chile for some of the other events. And like, he's a real talent. Who ought to be
on
the tour, like in the main event more often. So really great to see him in the event. Really nice guy too. I really like him. So
yeah, every time I see him, he's smiling.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's super amped.
Captain Barbosa.
Yeah, so good to see him in the water. Edo Luciano, big props to him. He's I mean, would you say he's a bit of a veteran of the tour now? I guess you would, right? Like, he's been kicking around here for a while. Yeah. Cool. So he's had a decade on tour.
Here we go. Look at this. We got some scratching out the back. It looks like Tristan going left. And we're going to stay on both of the riders. Big extended roll on the right from our rider in blue. And
that's
Tristan,
the rider in white, actually.
You are correct.
Yep, so that's Edo Luciano getting that score. And Tristan went left, split the peak. But I believe Edo had the priority, so that's why Tristan had to go left on that one. So this was a tough one. Left-handed now for the rider in blue. Big Rolo onto the sand, man.
Adaldo Silva. Oof. That was pretty solid right there from the Brazilian. That's going to be his highest scoring wave of 2. Adaldo Silva. That is going to be his 2nd wave. He's going to add that to his 3-point ride. Again, the criteria the judges are going to be looking for is, you know, the biggest maneuver and the most critical part of the wave. It's standard across the board. In these conditions, it's going to be very, very difficult. But here's another look at both of the rides from Tristan Roberts on the left. Didn't see much on that side, but we did see Edo Luciano with that nice clean roll, and that puts him into that 1st place spot. Yeah. But top 2 waves scored it's going to be summed, and the highest score is going to give you your placing in the heat.
Yeah, I believe. Is it not that do we have 4 or 5 judges in the we got 4 in there, and a head judge, and we take an average of the 4 scores, to get the number. So
yeah,
so that's how we do this. It's a fair way to do it. Not that, I mean, it's pretty rare that you got a huge difference between judges. You know, like I believe some of this averaging was done to make sure nobody's favouring anyone or whatever. But I mean, most of the judges are pretty spot on with their judgments of waves like this. I think the only difference, I guess, as I can see it here, what Chico did say before my heat was that he just wanted to see people do a clean bottom turn and then launch something. So we've got 2 riders now splitting that peak. Got a Rolo there, it seemed, from David Barbosa. He managed to wrangle it onto the shoreline, so he'll get his second score, and probably he may even pop back up into the first position there because of his high first ride. So this is Itacoatiara for anyone tuning in. The waves, yes, you're right, they kind of suck, but this is life and we're getting on with it. We're on to the second last day of the waiting period, and tomorrow there's the forecast or expectation that we'll have some bigger swell, and we'll be able to actually complete the event with some building swell throughout the day. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone supporting the APB and the tour. And yeah, we hope you can enjoy some of the thrills and spills of this heat. We've got Tristan now looking for a ramp on the inside. Oh, a little bit of cover.
Oh,
and there we go.
Nice.
Did he get that? Yeah, got that ARS onto the shore. So that's a nice little maneuver there. He should be able to improve his scores. We saw Blue heading left. We'll wait and see what the scores are there. I believe we're going to be looking at some different angles for the live stream team tomorrow based on this this kind of positioning of the event at Pampo, which is this right-hander. The wedge in the corner is called Pampo, and then the main break is, I do believe it's called Itacoatiara main break, right? There's no special name. And the shock is hidden somewhere, and we won't say where. You just got to find that one for yourself.
And they do have another section on the far end, the opposite side, Costal.
What's it called? Costal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Costal.
But, I mean, for the live feed, yes, another camera right in front of the judges or right in front of the action would be amazing. But because where we're situated with this entire production and where the event, the action is going down, it's about a quarter-mile distance between us two. But no matter what, the most important part is making sure the judges have the best view that I mean, case in point right there. The judges saw exactly what happened.
Saw everything, don't worry.
But right now.
And they did, because Tristan got a 6.92.
Perfect.
Or 93 for that flip there. So good on him.
But yeah, tomorrow we're going to be ready to rock and roll. But right now, it's all about making sure that we get everybody's gears loosened up and ready and rocking for that full day of action, the last day of the contest window, which is, the organizer, Terry, Chico, all these people who, even the riders, it's like sweating bullets because time is winding down and has yet to be a heat run before today for the main event. So it's been kind of tough and very mentally draining. But here we go. We are rocking. That looks like Adahaldo Silva, bottom turning. Tough to see right there. I'm not going to make up anything because I didn't see what he did there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Again,
we've got the heat winner coming by. Should we let him jump in for a second and we can have a little chat with him about his victory?
I think Paola is downstairs.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Paola's down there?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Paola is in the house with the interviews. Terry McKenna is going to make sure Paola and Ian are going to be getting ready for that interview. All right, so there is a quick look at what we have in the water. Tristan Roberts, of course, with that amazing combination of maneuvers. Barrel, quick little pocket ride into that flip move, 6.93 and a 4.23. Puts him into that first place spot. But 5 points is what Mr. Captain David Barbosa needs to get into that first place spot. Eder Luciano and Adahaldo Silva are looking for some bigger scores, like a 5.35 and a 5.58. So there it is. So what are they all thinking right now as they're sitting on their boards? What'd be going through your mind?
Oh, I'd be looking at the clock. I'd be wanting to know the heat situation so that I could know the type of wave I'd need to catch to get the score I need. I'd want to know the priorities. If I was low priority, I wouldn't be hanging out in the pack, that's for sure. I'd be kind of drifting away and trying to maybe play a few mind games, let people think that there's something else happening elsewhere and like try to manipulate the pack a little bit. You know, I think you can mess with people in heats, and I think that these types of conditions enable that a bit more. Like, I don't think, like, if you're having a heat at, like, Chopu or somewhere like that, it's a very respectful, structured approach. Like, I know I was fortunate enough to compete in the 2003 Chopu event way back in the day, and Damien King won that on his way to a world title. And it was very structured. We just kind of, like... There was no hassling. There was no, there's no words. It was just like, hey, you go on this one. And it's like, you know, a 6 to 8 foot or 10 foot wave coming. You're like, yeah, I'm going. And then you go, you know. So it's not like there's no mind games in that type of situation. But in these types of situations, I think that, like, there are a few games you can play. There's also just that reality of just paying attention, because, like, these waves are tricky. Like, you really have to kind of pick the right ones to get the score. So there's some pretty fast decision making. So you just need to keep a clear head. Try not to get too worked up. Try to keep your breathing calm, which is surprisingly difficult in heats like this. I find that you can get even more stressed out kind of hunting and worrying about having the opportunity you need. So there's still a whole game happening out there now. And the most important one is stay calm and get the score.
Yeah, I mean, there's these conditions, and the Brazilians, they are notorious for being able to, you know, play the game by each rule in the rule book. I mean, they will push the envelope when it comes to figuring out how to, you know, strategize and take full advantage of the situation at hand.
Manny, I'm not Brazilian. And I'll push that rule book just as far as they will, trust me. It's not a Brazilian thing. I remember I got my first warning for following a rider my first comp here. So here we are, the rider in blue, going off that roll onto the sand.
Yes,
Adahaldo Silva. Now we have David Barbosa looking to build on that. Tough times.
We got a couple more heats under our belt that we need to get through.
Yeah,
and
just 2 more after this.
Yeah. But as you can see, it's the tide is killing it just a bit.
Yep.
And there's there's a lot of time between the bigger waves. So if you come up big like Tristan, getting its shoulder and being able to, you know, actually put a couple moves together, you're stoked.
That's wave selection for you. You know, that's part of the game. You got to pick the right wave to get the right score. So here's Tristan again on another good-looking wave. We'll roll onto the sand. He's completing his waves.
Yeah,
that's the game.
All right, check this out. We do have the interview finally ready with Ian Campbell and Paola. Paola, where you at, sister?
Lekker.
Hi, guys. Ian Campbell. He's just won last year, like Itacoatiara PRO 2011. Yeah, yes. So how was? I know that the condition was pretty hard, but the guys decided to go to the water today to give more opportunities. So this round is no elimination, but Ian going straight to the third round. So how was that? You got the really pretty score, like 7.50, yeah, something like that. So it was pretty hard, pretty good for this condition.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all the riders came together earlier, and it's quite a difficult decision, especially when you get conditions like this. It's not easy for anyone, and we're just really lucky that everyone kind of came together, and we all decided, you know, it's a good idea to run today, get a repecharge heat for tomorrow, which is lucky for us because we get to run twice before getting into the round 3. So yeah, I mean, the conditions are tough. They're difficult for everyone though, and you know, this is something we can't control. So rather just take it heat by heat, deal with what we have at the moment, and then for tomorrow, because I think there's some big swell coming.
We hope so. Everybody hopes so too. So like nobody can control what's the condition for the weather, for the waves. So I think it's pretty hard because everybody got the same feeling too. So when it's like that, probably you guys never surf.
No, I mean, the last couple of days, all we've been doing is swimming and doing a lot of hiking here. It's a really beautiful area, and I just love coming back to Brazil, and love staying with this family that we're staying with, the Damatas down the road here. They're just amazing to us, and yeah, it just makes this whole experience in Brazil and this whole time we've had here just so much better. So yeah, just really happy to be back. It's warm water, good weather, and yeah, it's been a good time.
Yeah, he is really good at atmosphere. So you guys make something yesterday and another days, went to the mountains or do some kind of trainings, different trainings, not in the water?
Yeah, just trying to stay as fit as possible and kind of keep a little bit supple and keep moving. I think that's key to when you get this downtime. It's just to keep your body moving and keep active and just keep that fitness level up. But I'm feeling good and happy with the heat today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
That's it. Congratulations. See you tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
He pretty much said it right there in a nutshell. It's tough for everybody.
Yep.
And it's out of our hands. It's out of our control.
Yep. That's it. That's it. I mean, and look, these are everyday conditions. Like, I don't know, my first waves were on, like my first experience of riding a bodyboard were in shore break waves just like this. So, I mean, it's not really like, I do get a little bit annoyed with people getting hung up about conditions for competitions. Like, this is just part of the deal. Like, we of course we wish it was better. Of course we wish it was 4 to 6 foot and wedging in the corner and people were launching. Like, that's what all of us want. But at the end of the day, we got sponsors who are paying for this. We've got an organization, we've got a world title race to sort out, and we'll have to surf in conditions that we will prefer not to, but we take them on anyway, and we just deal with the hand that we're dealt with. But yeah, I think people often forget that bodyboarding doesn't only happen in places like Fronton or places like Pipeline. It happens at beach breaks just like this. And I actually think this is much more relatable in many ways to most people out there who ride a bodyboard, for sure.
We got Tristan Roberts in the red jersey, the South African, going left, going for a roll on that inside. And you know they're pulling off the maneuver.
How fast is it when they fly up the sand?
They flew up the sandbank right there. And here's...
Barbosa, another roll onto the sand.
So quick.
Little wedge in the corner here. Look, Eder Luciano. This looks like a real nice wave.
Split peak, Eder and Adahaldo. Eder, can he pull that around? I just saw his legs come up.
Nope.
Doesn't look like he would have pulled that off, but Adahaldo Silva.
He had to go.
Look at Eder, paddle battle.
Paddle battle?
He's trying to get out there before.
Adahaldo, look at that.
And that is the difference between a lot of the riders here. They know the situation that they're in at every single moment. And I wonder if Adahaldo down the beach was in the paddle battle with him. But yeah, Eder in and out. And I saw that in the national tour. Main difference between the veterans and other, competitors.
The rookies.
Yeah, it's... Here's another look. Eder's ARS.
Yeah, he had to go. He used the backwash to his advantage there. I mean, if he just had a bit more pop into the flats, which is literally the sand, he would have probably landed that. He's pretty lethal with those flips, Eder. He's a pretty reliable maneuver for him. So yeah, like a good effort. I believe this is one of our sponsors we're looking at now, SGA Toyota here in Itacoatiara. I think we got some cars there.
Yeah, there you have
it on the sign? SGA, yeah. I think Dudu rides for them as well.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine getting a car?
It'd be pretty sweet. It'd be pretty sweet. I don't own a car though, so I'm not one of those people that understands the expensive one, you know?
Oh, you don't want to know?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't actually. I'm pretty happy without it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, gas, maintenance, registration, license.
And then all the fines you end up getting.
Insurance, fines.
Just parking it somewhere it shouldn't be.
Yeah. I have a friend who parked... they just forgot to move the car off of the street sweeping side.
Oh.
And it was like it was like $500 at the end of the year that they spent just in those fines. It's crazy. Well, you don't need to know all of that, so don't get a car.
Don't get a car. 2 feet and a heartbeat.
2 what?
2 feet and a heartbeat.
There you go. You can route with
anywhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming down to the wire here in heat number 6. Tristan Roberts looking very solid. Captain David Barbosa as well with a 6.17 ride. Eder Luciano, unfortunately, wasn't able to pull off that big flip on the inside. And Adahaldo both of these guys capable of, putting together 10-point rides, all of these guys. But unfortunately, these conditions and these waves are dealing what, they're doing what they can do on the waves they're being dealt. But we got a couple more heats. And then we can hold our breath for tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are the forecasts? Are you following the forecast?
Well, I mean, the swell's meant to pick up throughout the afternoon here. It's hard to tell if it has, but the fact that we still have some rideable waves now, I mean, and barely rideable, like, let's admit what we're talking about here. Like, this is barely rideable, but I think we were expecting a small increase in the afternoon, and then tomorrow that increase should continue. And I mean, by tomorrow afternoon, we should have I think 3-4 feet of swell here. And I think you can see that, like, with a bit more swell, there'll probably be some sick waves. Like, there'll probably be some really fun waves. So, once we get to that, we'll be pretty happy. There's some kind of 10-year storm coming through on Thursday. So we'll all be hopefully getting our flights across to Iquique for the next event with no trouble. But let's see about that. So yeah, it looks like there's some swell coming after the event as usual. But that's life. We're here. We'll deal with it, and we will crown a champion, and we'll get some points, and we'll celebrate it. And we look forward to everyone watching, celebrating it with us.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about tomorrow, and I think all the riders are as well. Especially they've been sitting around for so long, and to be able to ride some sizable waves here at Itacoatiara, is what we're all here for. And it looks like you can see the next heat is out in the water, and the horn has sounded down the beach, as you can see the new heat on your screen. But we're going to come back with those results, or you can download and check out those results in Stacked. But we'll bring you up to speed. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with round number 1, heat number 7, right after this.
Fala galera, eu sou Dudu Pedra e hoje eu vou mostrar para vocês minha rampa preferida.
A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
Fala galera, eu sou Dudu Pedra e hoje eu vou mostrar para vocês minha rampa preferida.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Itacoatiara Pro 2019. Manny V here with Josh Burgett Kirkman, and we are coming down to the wire. Heat number 7 of 8, round number 1, non-elimination round. Out in the water, who do we got?
Well, we have Patrick Orr from the big island of Hawaii. We have Kalani Latanzi, who was one of the wild cards at this event. Also a bit of a legendary big wave body surfer, bodyboarder. He doesn't look like the image you're seeing on the screen right now. He's quite an attractive young man from Brazil.
Yes.
He is not a silhouette. Davis Blackwell, also known as Wingers. Nice guy. He was a trialist, and he is now into this main event, and he will be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be another one of those heats where anybody can take it in these conditions, but all of them are capable of getting those big scores. It's just a matter of them having that wave delivered to them. As you can see on your screen, there's already been 3 waves ridden from Patrick Orr, 5.67, Kalani Latanzi, 4.83, and Alan Munoz, 4.17.
Yeah, busy heat. Alan Munoz, he's going to be lethal here as well. He can pop flips off anything. So, that's he's probably the best of Chile right now, I would say. He's been one of the more dominant riders from that country for a few years now. He's going to be hard to beat out here.
Yeah, Chile has a pretty strong contingent of top riders coming out of that country, and it's going to be pretty fun to watch in their hometown, in their home country. So it looks like Davis Blackwell finally getting his first wave under his belt with a left-hand roll. Slides up onto the beach, and there's red again. Patrick Orr now already with 2 waves on his scorecard. And there you have it. So with 25-minute heats, we're looking at about just under an hour left in today's action. And round number 1 will be complete in less than an hour. So it's going to be who will be in that first place and second place spot in these next 2 heats to catapult over round number 2 and go into round number 3. And first and third and fourth, we're going to see them again starting off tomorrow's action with round number 2. Thank you, Teza.
Teza's just delivering some water. I'm eating a bit of food while I commentate. Hope that's not annoying for anyone, but I'm starving.
Go ahead and chow down. I mean, it's very tough right now because the waves, the better waves, are far and few between. So to be able to have 2 waves on your scorecard with less than 5 minutes that have already passed is pretty solid. So Patrick Orr looking very strong with a 5.67 and a 3. So Patrick looking very good.
I think Pat is doing what a good friend of mine, multiple world champion Dave Hubbard would say, building a house.
Yep.
And he has a decent score. Well, actually, a very good score, 5.67, strong score. And then he has a 3. And so he's just building up those scores. He's going to get there. He's in a good position. It's a good start.
So on the foreground on your screen, you can see this couple just playing volley with a soccer ball, trying to keep it off the ground. And that is a thing here. On Sunday afternoon, down in Pompo, there was probably 20 different circles, anywhere between 2 to 10 people. No, not even that much. Like 5 people in a circle, keeping the ball off of the ground for, minutes at a time. And it's pretty amazing to watch that, it's a beach sport. Down the beach, it looked like Kalani Latanzi trying to pull off a roll towards the rock at Pompo. And that'll be his second wave. Kalani, we'll get his profile shot up there before tomorrow's start of action.
Yeah, good work by Kalani. He's trying to build that house as well. He's in a good position. It'll be really good to see him advance through to some of the bigger waves. He's a rider that can perform much better in those conditions.
Yeah, so Kalani Latanzi, there you have it. That score comes in at a 4 as well, so he'll jump right into that first place spot. And the flag, Noi, one of the sponsors here at the event. It's a brewery right down the road here in Niterói. And I know I've been drinking their beer, but I don't know if I've been to their brewery yet. I'm pretty sure I haven't. No, but they do have a kiosk here that's sponsored by Noi as well. So very tasty Weiss beer that they have. And you know what? A beer sounds pretty good to have after the event, of course. But,
I wouldn't complain.
Here we go. Looks like yellow. No, backing off red. It is Patrick Orr coming down the section. And it looks like he's going to ride right into that rock, but there's so much space there.
Yeah, a little unclear what he managed to pull off that section there, but a nice sized wave. So if you manage to get a maneuver off that, he should be looking pretty good to back up that 5.67. Let's see. We've got a wave rolling in off the rocks there. I think Davis Blackwell made a bit of a strategic move to get closer to the rocks, if I noticed correctly. He was real close there, so I wonder if that decision's paying off for him yet. But a bit of action. Let's see how the wedge forms up and what can be put on offer for the guys.
You can see the high tide water starting to come up, and that's where the judges are situated, I believe, right under that tent. Josh, can you agree? Yes, nod. You can nod. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So the judges.
They were a bit closer before. They were up on right on the edge there. So this high tide has pushed them back a little. So.
All right. You can see the water starting to rush up, and we do have a full moon or just after a full moon. So there's extreme tides, but as Josh mentioned, it's not very, it's in that mid-tide down at Pompo because there's so much sand over there. But look at that rip just going right into the contest area. So you got blue and yellow. It looks like Davis Blackwell and Kalani Latanzi, or sorry, blue and white. Alan Munoz over by the rock waiting for the right-hand wedges. And then you got Patrick and Kalani closer to us here waiting for those side wedges to come off of the rock, either into a left or into a right. So pretty interesting on who's sitting in what position. But man, seeing this place going off is a sight to see, and we're hoping to see some of that tomorrow. I mean, Pompo, when it's on fire, right-hand wedge that just sets up a perfect ramp for you to do practically any move. I mean, we can probably see PLC double backflip, or even a 720 from somebody like the Socrates Santana. It's totally possible. All right, looks like we do have the interview ready with Paola and our winner of the last heat. Paola, where you at, sister?
Guys, we are here with Tristan. So Tristan became pretty solid in the contest. He stayed in the top 5 for the World Tour, and last year he stayed in 2nd place. How was that? You love Itacoatiara, I know that. He always come really strong. So, but with this condition, what's you make the difference there? What did you do? Because it was pretty hard for everybody.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to luck of the draw out there right now. It's real slow, it's tough, it's on the stand, and just commitment, I guess. I was just adamant on trying to go and land as clean as I can on the sand. So, yeah, I think it's tough out there, but I'm happy I got 2 scoring rides, and yeah, happy to advance.
Do you think it was a good decision, make like these 2 rounds for make the difference for you guys, make more chance for everybody? Or do you think better go straight to wait tomorrow for the swell pickup and try, like, take the luck with the conditions for the weather and the waves coming? What do you think?
Yeah, I think to me, it's a difficult decision to make. We don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I think we just want to get started. We've been waiting around for quite a while now, and just want to surf heats. This is my first heat for the year, so just had to get that monkey off the back, and now just keep advancing, hopefully, and just stay calm and enjoy the contest.
So for the World Tour this year, what do you probably pretty excited because you're getting really good for all last year. So what are you going to do? Like, you're going to do all tour? Like, you got a good sponsors now for you getting relaxed and just enjoy and try make your best?
Yeah, I think I've been very serious on myself with the competitive bodyboarding the last few years, and I'm trying to just enjoy it a bit more and enjoy the process, learn as much as I can, and yeah, just take it as it comes, heat by heat, and I will be doing every event, so I'm pretty excited to just be traveling and doing what I love.
That's it. The guys are really professional, so they need to know surf any conditions. So congratulations, see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Wow, first heat of the year, Tristan Roberts winning it. So congratulations, Tristan. The South African goes into round number 3. So yeah, Tristan looking very positive.
Yeah, he's strong.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's my pick for the world title this year. I've already said this, to friends and family, and when they listen, they hear it. But no, Tristan's looking solid. He's got a repertoire that can deliver heat. Every heat he can deliver what he needs to deliver, and that's why he wins heats. It can be a bit formulaic, you
and
know.
he's like buff, like he's the strongest
No,
I've
he's
ever
fit
seen.
as, yeah. He's been training a lot. He's been doing a lot of boxing training. If you listen to the latest Boogie podcast episode, you'll be able to learn a little bit more about Tristan. I had a good chat with him on the rock that you can see in the background there, folks. So,
Nice.
he spoke a lot about his life in South Africa and his training regime, but a bit of live action. We've got wingers here, Davis Blackwell.
Nice.
Another roll onto the sand.
Oh, he's gonna run into something. Did he run into somebody?
Wow,
I think he ran into an umbrella.
That's intense.
But that's how much speed these riders are coming up the sandbank and taking out people.
Yeah.
Somebody lost an iPhone for sure on that one.
Oh yeah, there must be a few iPhones getting taken out. But yeah, Tristan's training hard. He prides himself on the training and he's a really dedicated guy, and that's the game.
All right, so he's back out into the lineup. Patrick Orr, obrigado, Andre. Davis Blackwell in blue jumps into second place. Kalani Latanzi.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that I actually did an interview with Joao Zeke, and we talked about that massive session that Joao Zeke, Kalani Latanzi, and Dudu Pedra had out here. And Kalani Latanzi actually had to get helicopter out of this place right here because it was so massive. So here's a nice, beautiful pan. They just showed it really quick. Oh, bummer. I want to see that again. But it could be a little interference here if priority was not in the hands.
I wonder who had priority. It looked as though it wasn't Yellow who had priority, though.
So
that's interesting.
Alan Munoz, Kalani Latanzi, both of them making their way back out into the water. So it was Alan Munoz behind Kalani Latanzi. So it's going to be interesting how that's going to pan out. Keep an eye on Stacked, and you'll see the interference drop if there was an interference.
Yeah, but Patrick's staying strong. Oh,
Yes.
look at this. Oh, they're getting cleaned up there.
Oh,
wow.
no.
Gotta watch it. Oh, yeah, wow. You gotta watch that stuff. No, but Patrick's staying strong. Really good to see. He's a great rider. He's here to improve on his previous 2 years. It's been a big build-up for him. He's put a lot of
check
time
this out.
in.
Sorry.
What's this, Manny? Go for it.
Let me interrupt you really quick. So the logo for the Itacoatiara Pro, if you've seen it on all the jerseys and everything, there is the reason why it is what it is. It's a beautiful design of the logo, and it's a replica of what is in their backyard here in Itacoatiara, and it's the Morao is the name of the mountain back behind, but it looks like an elephant with the trunk of Castal going into the water. Beautiful, beautiful logo for matching the beautiful landscape here in Itacoatiara. We had some action down the way.
Yeah, meanwhile, Davis Blackwell managed to find another ride there. Patrick Orr built on his score, which is really cool. Yeah, Pat's looking real strong. So he's going to be hard to beat from here, I think, in these conditions. Like, the guys are going to have to get, either one really big score or a pair of decent scores to bridge the gap between Pat and the rest of the crew. Yep, they're doing what they can with the conditions and, getting some decent scores. That was a hiccup.
Well, that's what happens when you have the delicious lunch that Saboriano delivers.
Okay.
One of the sponsors here, delivering the goods every single day here for the staff.
I was about to say, that's a business name, not an individual's name.
Yes.
Okay, because
yes,
I was about to say, that's like, isn't that like delicious?
Yeah.
As a name? I thought, wow,
it's a restaurant right
interesting
around the
name.
corner.
Okay, cool.
But it's very delicious, and they've been providing the food for the staff.
Okay.
So they've been very good to us. So thank you very much, Saboriano.
I think that Davis Blackwell's strategy here might be obviously paying off. I mean, he's getting the scores he needs, and he's hugging the rock there. So he's picked up on something that the other riders aren't really paying attention to. So really interesting move by him. It's proving to pay off, and yeah, it's still early days in the heat. Kalani Latanzi now trying to claw back into the action. He may have squeezed a Rolo out there.
Look at the water just
it's
rushing
crazy.
into.
Oh, he lost his board.
Oh,
Look
my
how
God.
far it's gone.
It's coming up all the way to the beach.
And look, there you go. Wingers again grabbing another wave directly off the rock there. So he's finding something special there.
So the last heat of the day, Tanner McDaniel, Louis Finnegan, Nelson Flores, Maxime Ausina are going to be coming up next to finish off today's action. But yeah, this is pretty interesting on how it's unfolding here with these last-minute maneuvers on the shore break from all the riders. So, I mean, you're going to have heat situation changes pretty much up until the end of the heat.
Well, we've just seen Davis Blackwell take the lead now, so he's in a very strong position with only just over 6 minutes to go. We might get a replay here. Okay, so was this the interference? So that's an earlier wave. This is what we weren't sure of, whether Kalani Latanzi was the one holding priority there or not. Did it come up on the stacked app if there was any kind of interference?
Let's have a quick look at that. I'm going to pull it up right now. And you'll see the live scores if you scroll down. It looks like no, I don't see any triangle, so it looks like it would have been okay. Kalani would have had priority in that situation.
So Allen's just tried to pop a maneuver off the wake of Kalani. He may have even helped him out a bit because his score did improve there. So that may have been a helpful drop in if there is ever such a thing. Yeah, Davis Blackwell's still sitting out. You know what's interesting about his positioning? He's actually going to get a longer ride from that position, it seems. Like he seems to be sitting a bit further out than everyone and hugging that rock. So, yeah, interesting move. Good move. Good move, Davis. He's getting the scores, so it's paying off.
Well, it looks like Alan Munoz is figuring out what Davis is doing up there.
Here's Kalani Latanzi on another one. This left-hander, see if we can keep our eye on him.
He's going to ride up onto the beach again. I'd be careful if I was on the beach. You never know if you're going to have a...
Here's Pat. He's scratching into one.
There he goes.
Nah, not quite there.
That thing doubled up onto the shore. He decided to pull back on that. But Davis and Allen's almost sitting on the rock. I mean, they're just waiting for that little side wave to come off of that shore, off of that rock, and wedge into the shore break. So Davis, throwing down a strategy. I wonder if it's something that could have been used in prior heats. I know we saw a couple of riders over there.
I had to think about it in my heat, but the waves are a bit different at that time. It seemed to be holding up a bit cleaner in the middle here, so not really needed to sit on that edge there. But it's clearly working for Davis Blackwell. So we'll see if he can hold on to this lead. And
did you take your pill?
No, I got to take my anti-inflammatory. Thanks, Manny.
I have to remind you. All right, so we're winding down this heat number 7 of 8. We're coming down to the wire. Can't thank you all enough for tuning in live. Again, this is the first day of the live feed and the first day of the main event. And we do have our link to the live feed on Facebook. So if you have been watching, time is now to get a shout out. So throw it down. Would love to give a shout out to those that are tuning in. But man, it's very tough. I mean, if you're able to get a wave and pull off 2 maneuvers cleanly, you're going to be pretty stoked, because that is going to definitely get you in that first and second place position. As Robin McDearman says, yes, one-hit wonders today for sure. And PLC, I think, clocked 2 one-hit wonders of 7-point rides with these 2 big backflips, and Socrates Santana doing a massive maneuver as well.
Yeah, you can rely on PLC to deliver.
Yes.
Regardless of any condition, to be honest. He is a multiple world champion, and that's the deal.
Here we go. Kalani Latanzi and Davis down the beach. Kalani, nice clean roll on the inside. And that was Davis. You saw him, or was that yeah, Kalani was on that.
Kalani was on it, but here we are. See, wingers there. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
A little bit of a foam climb there from Davis Blackwell.
And paddling over there to that section. Patrick Orr trying to get some of that fun that's coming off of the rocks. Oh, spin. Can he get down?
Is he going to get a second maneuver on this?
That is the question. No. So now it might be that all the riders may get onto the Davis Blackwell bandwagon. Kalani
so
on the inside.
Kalani's wave. See if he... Oh. Did he...
Yeah,
he actually did an ARS onto the sand there, right?
I think it was zero water. Zero water. But it looks like everybody's starting to head over there. So
Yeah, everyone's going to be sitting on the rock in a second. But see, if you were third or fourth priority, I don't know why you would go there.
Exactly.
I just think, sure, if the top two guys with priority want to go and sit there, that's cool. Unless the priority sits with those guys who are going over there to take the waves from them. But yeah. It's getting tight. I think we're waiting on Kalani. Okay, so Alan's score, and Alan and Kalani are playing a little bit of a dance in third and fourth position. We did do a little bit of a shout out for anyone watching. What was the question we were asking him for Facebook?
No, we just wanted to hear some shout outs where you're tuning in from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we're coming down to the wire. One more heat remaining in today's action. So if you've been watching, I know it was super early in on the west coast of the US when we got this started, but now everybody should be awake. Coming up on 9:30 on the west coast of the US. But we're coming down to the wire with one more heat, and it looks like that could be the end of the road, the end of the heat for heat number 7 of 8, round number 1. Are we going to see any more last wave exchanges? Look at this. Blackwell paddling out. He sees something.
He's on something.
This thing looks like it could feather off the rock. There he is, digging really hard to get into that.
Wow. Oh, he might have given up priority there too with that paddle. Okay. We just had a rider take that. I think it might have been Alan Munoz.
They're right on the rock.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that might have been it. So, yeah, Davis Blackwell and Patrick Orr looks like they are the top 2 riders advancing on.
Yeah, good on them.
Into round number 3. And we're going to see the other 2 riders into round number 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. The last heat of the day, Tanner McDaniel, Louis Finnegan, Nelson Flores, and Maxime Alsina coming up right after this.
Fala galera, eu sou o Dudu Pedra e hoje eu vou mostrar pra vocês minha rampa preferida.
A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus. Mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade. Emoção. Tecnologia. É NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.
What's up, everybody? Manny V here with Teza McKenna back in the hot seat. So we are down to the wire, the last heat of round number 1 here on the first day of the main event of the Itacoatiara PRO. Teza, tough conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a bit of an overview of the beach here. So not a lot of motion in the ocean. Looks like Lake Antarctica at the moment. But there's the lineup at the moment. Tanner McDaniel, of course, what a great performance it was last year in Eureka. That was just such a landmark moment for the sport. Louis Finnegan, of course, from WA. In fact, we got a WA guy is tuning in. Just sent me a message there. It's Brett Pascoe watching from Barrie in West Oz. Hey, Bretto, how you doing?
Is that Louis holding one of those candy cigarettes? I think it was.
He's such a classic, isn't he? We've got Nacho Jimenez, of course, former world junior champion on the APB World Tour. And, of course...
Maxime.
Yeah, Maxime Usina from the Basque Country.
Yes.
And Euskadi to all of our Basque and Euskadi people watching the webcast on this day 1 here from Itacoatiara.
Oh, my. So we do have the action underway. A lot of whitewash surrounding that area down at Pompo. So scores are dropping, and people are forcing maneuvers like that right there for Maxime Osuna in the blue, trying to force over that roll, but cannot pull it off. But Brett Pascoe tuning in from Barrie, West Australia.
Uh-huh.
What is that?
It's a little holiday hamlet in the middle of nowhere, pretty much.
But is it Body, or is it short for something?
No, I think that's Barrie. It's the actual name of the town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Brett, tuning in. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the support and tuning in from the small town of Body.
Yeah, of course. Louis Finnegan he's from Mandurah, and he's used to surfing some little wedges like this. As Josh Kirkman was on previous to me. Josh is from Foster Tongue. Curry, also renowned for little shore break left and right hand. It's like we got here today. The swell, it's coming, but it's coming a little late. Look, this was always a worry when we made the decision this morning with the riders' representatives and the riders themselves. Actually, the athletes actually unanimously voted to surf today's round, so they could get 2 surfs with a or have a surf without having a risk of being eliminated in the first round.
Yeah. Oh, as you can see, we are outside here in the live studio, which I'm okay with. I mean, we had Nelson's Doom Buggy earlier today, and now we have this guy's roaring motorcycle cruising by, but it feels so good to be outside. They wanted to put us indoors.
I know.
And I was like, can we do whatever we can to be outdoors, because it's so nice right now here in Itacoatiara.
It gives the listeners a bit of a vibe of what's happening outside here as well. Boys just taking off on the edge of the rock here, so really, really tough conditions. When we talked about the tide coming in, we were hopeful. Here we go, back to live action. I'll come back to that story, Manny.
Tanner McDaniel finding that right down the beach, a roll through the lip, a little bit longer ride than that of blue Maxime Alcina, who did a roll on the inside there as well. I stand corrected. That was Nelson Flores. So Nelson, Nacho Flores, nice clean roll on the inside there. But Tanner McDaniel getting a little bit of a longer ride and pulling a roll. So both of those riders, look at that, paddling back as quickly as possible. Maxime Alcina battle with Tanner McDaniel. Look at that.
That's good to see. That means he really wants it. And we're staying with Maxime and some of the French guys, and they're such a lovely bunch of kids. And they get up every morning and do an hour of stretching and surfing during the day, no matter how bad it is. Here's a replay, man. He take us through this one.
So Tanner way deep on the rock, and he had a little bit longer ride, and that was perfect. That's what he needed, and that's what he's going to get down on the rock. Nice, clean, extended roll, and you can see just in the foreground, just to the left of the screen, Maxime doing the same, but a shorter ride. The other day we went hiking. Maxime was on that with that group, and there's a few of us: Kevin Torres, Eddie Guzman from Chile, and Kevin Orihuela. No, you don't pronounce the H. Orihuela.
Orihuela.
Yeah. And we were all in that group, and we got to the top. On the way back down, I'm like, you know what? I feel like running. Anybody want to run? And I forgot these guys are all top athletes.
Absolutely.
So we started running. As soon as we started running, we hit an uphill, and these guys just took off. I'm like, damn it. Maybe I shouldn't have said it just at that moment.
Yeah.
But we never caught up to them.
What a classic. Yeah. No, they're all about a fit bunch of guys, and they're really enjoying the experience here in Brazil. It would have been a little more enjoyable with more as well. But, you know, once again, I heard Josh Kirkman mention it earlier, but, you know, some things are completely out of our control. And we've been a bit unlucky, really, here in Brazil. And, of course, in Cayenne, we had the same kind of problem. The lucky thing here is that here tomorrow we've got waves. In Cayenne, we really didn't. We got completely skunked for 10 days. And we got away with it and we got a result. But, you know, these things, you know, I saw a couple of negative comments about the conditions. I mean, that's just crazy. People even saying...
can't control that.
No, they're saying stuff like that. I mean, everything that's within our control has been pretty good. We've learned some lessons here working with the webcast guys today, and I'm sure that we'll fix those, some of the little mini issues that we had. But in general, look, you know, it's a contest, and sometimes you just got to deal with whatever Mother Nature throws your way. Today, it's this.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool because most of the riders, I think every single rider, pretty much said the same thing. It's like, you know what? We're all in this together.
Yeah.
We're all competing in the same conditions. And you know what? We can't control Mother Nature, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
Behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff happening. Alex Leon, our CEO, has been really busy working with Polaris in Portugal. It's a big company that finds sponsorship for sporting organisations like the APB. I'm going to come back and finish that story, Manny, but for now, I think we're going to throw to an interview.
Yeah, let's check it out. The winner is with Paola. Paola, where you at, sister?
Hi, everyone. We are here with Davis Blackwell from Western Australia, Aussie guy. So the first time in Brazil. Davis, what do you think about Brazil, especially Itacoatiara, because you've never been here before?
Yeah, first time. This place is amazing. Heaps of hikes, and yeah, it's beautiful.
It's completely different than Aussie, but it's still really good. So you're going to do the full tour this year. What do you think? Are you excited to do this?
Yeah, so I'm going to, goal is to qualify for next year. Yeah, try and make the tour. Should be good fun.
What do you think about this wave? I just explained that Itacoatiara is not like that, okay? We got a pretty good waves, but what do you think the power of the wave here? I don't know if you got a few days good when we got last week that still got a pretty wave. So what your opinion about Itacoatiara?
Yeah, when it gets big, it's pretty powerful, a bit similar to home. And yeah, it's unfortunate it's a bit small now, but fingers crossed, picks up tomorrow.
That's it. So see you tomorrow. Congratulations one more time. We're going to say something to Australia.
Yeah, shout out to Mum and Dad. Thanks. Woo.
That's it. Parabéns. Congratulations. See you tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Oh, my. He is stoked. He's going straight into round number 3. So he gets a break tomorrow morning and show up a little later and be ready to throw down.
Yeah, we might even try and drag him in on the webcast. And he's a smart little kid, Davis Blackwell. And shout out to his mum and dad who are watching in Mandurah. A couple of locals there enjoying the afternoon sun. They swing the chairs around to face the sun throughout the afternoon. Look at this sucky little inside one. You know, it's not ideal. It's not what we came here for. But again, you know, it's just you know, the nature of the beast of bodyboarding is sometimes you just have to deal with whatever you have. And today it's little shore breaks here at Itacoatiara. This is the final heat of the day, too many. A funny story there in Campbell. I was speaking to him when I had a couple of heats off. He said to me that he rode a wave right up and actually landed at the feet of the judges and said to them, he actually said to them, what are you going to give to me for that, or something like that. Or, you know, it's pretty funny. Or put his hands out as if to say, how's that for you? You know, it's pretty classic. So, you know, it's a unique situation, this one. You know, I haven't seen Shorey riding like this for a while. But, you know, I remember in Nazaré, I think there was one afternoon, you know, a couple of years ago where we had some big waves breaking right onto the shore here. And then Josh Kirkman had to resurf a heat here last year for this exact reason. So this beach is a little bit notorious for, you know, being a big, strong shore break that crunches right onto the sand. But, you know, it does need swell to do its thing.
And that's it. I mean, we don't have control of Mother Nature, but, man, when this place is on fire, or even at 3 to 4 foot, it's just perfect A-frames down the beach. It's sand bottom, but the power behind the waves is coming straight in out of the ocean, and it packs a punch, most definitely.
Okay, so at the moment we're into the final heat. It's 8 of 8, round number 1 of the 2019 Itacoatiara Pro, of course, a Grand Slam event on the World Bodyboard Tour, the APB World Tour. Tanner McDaniel's in the lead with a 583 and a 1.0. You know, everyone, to try and get 2 good scores here today is a mission. Pierre really nailed it with 2 high scores in his
got lucky.
Nelson Flores has got a 5.17. He's in second. Louis Finnegan with a 4.0, sitting in third, and Maxime Orsina with a 1.5, holding down the tail end of this one. From here, of course, the tour will head over to the Bella Vista Bodyboard Pro, and a big shout out to all of our friends over there, to Bago and Nico, anybody else watching, to some of the locals, of course, Sati and all the gang from Punta Dos. We can't wait to come out and hang out with you guys.
Oh my gosh, you just saw the rider right there. I believe that was Louis Finnegan in white, almost running straight into the rock, but able to maintain. So Louis clocking in his, I'm going to say that's probably going to be one of his... We'll see what the judges are going to put down.
Okay, it's always best to stay away from the interpretation on judges' scores. That's what I've learned over the years, Manny. I just stay right out of there. Unless you think it's a 10-point ride. And you know what? You don't have to be a judge to know what a 10 is, because you just feel the emotion of it.
No, I mean, we have the golden boom ready, but it's not, I don't see it being used at all today, but hopefully we'll be able to use this tomorrow. Yes, there it is. So the golden boom, 10-point rides are going to get this golden boom. Will we see it tomorrow? That's the question. It's on standby. So be ready. Make sure you tune in and let everybody know we are going live first thing tomorrow from Itacoatiara.
Yeah, and real early too. 6:30 local time, Benny. We've got around about 10 hours 40 of competition, which will take up the entire daylight part of the day here. Of course, we're in the middle of winter, so the days are very short.
Wait, 6:30 check-in or 6:30 start?
No, well, it's a 6:30 check-in with a quick enough start straight off the back. Because the light comes up here around 6:05.
Okay.
So we might try and get that first heat underway at 6:30. That's the plan at the moment. And we'll contact the guys in that first heat once we reseed, of course. Off the back of here, it was a good suggestion from PLC not to do just a standard progression, but to do a complete reseed of this round, because you might end up with first, second, third, fourth, or guys on the rankings in the same heat, and we don't want that. We want to try and avoid it. So we'll reseed this next round for the repechage, and that way we'll make sure that the top guys won't come together until the end of the event.
All right, that decision was made pretty much at the last minute as well. So what you see in stacked for round number 2 may not be that. It may change as soon as we start.
It will definitely change, I think, because there'll be some reseeding there. So
okay.
And yeah, this is something that we didn't have control of again, folks. So we're always doing our best to try and bring you quality events. Gee, I'm looking forward to the Chilean leg as well. We've got, of course, the Kike, which has got incredible waves. Then up to Antofagasta for the richest event of 2019. Turo Soto, Glenn, and all the gang have pulled together an incredible competition. More than a competition, it's a real festival that includes music, skateboarding, some eco-awareness, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
They're doing it right.
Yeah, really good. It's the richest event of the year. $50,000 for the men. There's $15,000 for the women. $5,000 DK event, and a grand up for grabs for the Grommies in the Pro Junior. And of course, from there we'll head back to Arica, which is always one of the best stops on the tour.
I wonder, is there something in my contract that says I cannot enter the drop knee?
Oh, no way. I'd love to see you enter it. You can?
Oh, I got my board.
Oh, man, you're going to be on it, my man.
But I don't. It's at La Cupola. It's a left-hand reef brake, and when it's heavy.
Sure.
And I haven't ridden backside drop knee in a while, so we'll see. Check this out. Back to the action. Oh, behind the corner over there and on the foreground. Double roll from each of the riders. Look at this water rushing up into the judges' tent. They're trying to take cover. That was Louis Finnegan, closer to you, but way down by the rock. And another roll. I just saw it right there. We may have a paddle battle on our hands, and it's all about to get that priority.
Look at that. That's cool.
That is Louis Finnegan and Maxime Alcina.
Wow.
Trying to get back out there. And you saw a little bit of a push from the backwash, and we saw Nelson Flores as well. So everybody got a wave in that exchange. Let's take another look. So deep in the corner, I believe that was Nelson Flores with a nice clean roll, and he'll ride right up onto this sandbank.
Gee, the spectators are getting a real close-up and personal view of the World's Best here today. I do. That's one good thing when it is small. They're not a little black dot out in the middle of the sea. They're, right there, and you can see the expression on their face. It's like watching someone on a flow rider. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, these guys are put everything on the line to be able to, advance on into round number 3. First and second will get catapulted over round 2 and get situated into round number 3. So that's what's at stake right now. Nobody's going to get eliminated. This is a non-eliminated round, non-elimination round. So first and second go into round 3. Third and fourth, you're going to see them first thing tomorrow morning in round number 2.
Yeah, that's right, in the repechage round. So a little bit of a back and forth there, but right for now, there's around about 6 minutes 45 on the clock. Tanner McDaniel in the lead, 5:83, 5.03. So again, just choreographing this heat really nicely. Nelson Flores went to third, but he went back to second with that last wave. It was a 4.77. Pushes Louis Finnegan back down into third position. And so Louis needs a 4.55 to go to second. And Maxime Orsina, well, he needs some scores. He needs an 8.45 to go to second.
Wow, that's a big call, especially with time winding down, coming down to the 6-minute mark or 8-minute mark. You see 6:20 on your screen. So yeah, Maxime, they all have enough time, but it's interesting how they separated once again. Everybody was on the rock in that last heat. Now we only have Tanner McDaniel and Louis Finnegan on the rock, and we have Maxime and Nelson Flores off of the rock, waiting for that wedge to form up and probably get a longer ride. But it all just matters on the wave that comes in.
Okay, again, it's the final heat of the day. This is the first of the Grand Slam events on the 2019 APB World Tour. And Tez McCann and Manny Vargas holding it down, and we'll be wrapping it up in no time whatsoever. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this one, and they're going to go back, have a meeting with everyone. We're going to really tighten stuff up and come back tomorrow with an incredible final day from the first Grand Slam here in Brazil.
Yeah, I'm excited, and we're going to see the likes of. Tristan Roberts won his heat, and he did mention. This was the first heat for him this year, so a lot of the riders are hungry and want to get into it. And tomorrow, you're going to see all that inks and all that excitement that's been building up from the last event. And it's going to all unfold tomorrow. Look at this. Back in the corner. Louis, nice clean roll. And spin. And then a roll on the inside. That is going to probably be the cleanest and probably the best wave of the heat.
Maybe. That's a good combo. And, on a day like today where everyone's been just pumping out those single major moves, Louis Finnegan got a nice little combination of majors on that one. And that's a critical element on the criteria. Let's check the replay, Manny. And you can see Louis sets it up here. Just gets down, nice little tidy spin, crosses the legs just for a bit of tidiness, zeroes in on that end section, and again pushes it round. And you watch him ride up and over the sand dune there. He almost ended up in the little bar at the end of the beach there where you can buy beers down there.
Yeah, the spa, the resort down the beach. I forgot what they call that, but it's probably Itacoatiara Clubhouse or something.
Yeah, I think it is something like the beach club.
Okay.
Yeah, beach club, but it's a real 5-star facility here, and some of the houses on the southern end of the competition area here are worth literally $3 to $5 million US.
Look at this, back in the corner, Tanner McDaniel. Oh, a little whitewash roll, does not pull it off. So taking advantage is Maxime. Is this going to turn into something that he might want to keep? No. Goes for a reverse, and he'll ride that out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he should have. Well, he did what he thought was going to work for him.
Well, he used his priority card. That's why Tanner kind of got off that one pretty quickly. So Maxime had priority. He'd been waiting for something pretty solid, but unfortunately, by the time that he actually got into that wave, it was kind of almost done with. And, a little attempted reverse there. I could see what he was going for, but that wave really didn't offer too much. I think Maxime still going to be trying to hunt some pretty big scores here for the Frenchman.
Yeah,
otherwise we're going to have to say au revoir.
Well, we're not going to say au revoir.
Yeah, au revoir to the repechage round.
Yes. So Louis Finnegan, that double maneuver wave is going to put him into that first place spot. So Tanner McDaniel in second, Nelson and Maxime third and fourth. Again, non-elimination round, non-elimination heat. You're going to see everybody again. Louis Finnegan and Tanner McDaniel, if nothing changes in the next couple minutes, they will go into round number 3, while the rest of the gang, third and fourth, will go into round number 2. Here we go. Back in the corner, Maxime. Nice clean roll. Maxime's currently in that fourth place spot, and you can see him sliding up the beach, making his way back out now. But, we all would love to wake up tomorrow morning. Here's another look at Maxime's wave. You can see him just carving reverse. He pulled it off, but not as clean as he thought he would be able to pull that off. But we're all wishing that tonight we wake up to the thundering waves of Itacoatiara.
Yeah, I mean, we only stayed a couple of streets back from the beachfront here, and I remember last year the ocean sounded like a battlefield. I woke up at about 2 in the morning and went, whoa, what is that? And you could feel the ground vibrating, and it's quite a sight to behold out here. It's a real gladiatorial kind of an arena when it's on. And, well, fingers crossed that swell is going to come in tomorrow. According to all the charts, there's something coming. Obviously, it's been downgraded over the last 3 or 4 days, but it's definitely going to be the best, and I think the biggest and the best that we've had so far. There's a nice little panoramic view. Of course, over the other end of that rock over there, Manny, is a little place they call the Shock. Have you been out there?
No. I mean, no, that thing's a slab. My slab days are over. I don't think they even started, but I was more of a easygoing beach break, barrel riding. If it was reef, it'd be the North Shore off-the-wall perfection.
Sure.
But no, that thing's a slab, and the likes of Dudu Pedra, Kalani, Latanzi, Joao, Zeke love that kind of stuff. And I know a lot of the guys on the tour would love it too, but right on the other side of that rock is a pretty intense right-hand slab that does come to life when it's big.
I remember you got a cover way back in your heyday. It was a mad little barrel. Was that a backdoor barrel? Yeah, it was a cover of Bodyboarder magazine or something like that.
Man, that one wave got me so much coverage, and I look back and I was so fortunate because I remember, I look at the photo. There was another photo. There was Chris Van Lennep, incredible, legendary photographer from South Africa. Aaron Chang from San Diego. Wow. I think there was a couple other guys in there that were taking shots that are legendary photographers back in the day when it wasn't digital.
Yeah, sure.
You take 36 photos, you get out of the water, you unload your camera out of the water housing, put a new roll of film, put it back in the camera, and swim back out.
Yeah, and you know what? They weren't as light as they are these days. These things were big, old, heavy things in the water housings, and they were just legendary. Watermen, those guys. Looks like that might be a wrap on it, Manny. I think that is it. So it looks like Louis Finnegan.
Nice.
Might take that heat in front. He has taken that heat in front of Tanner McDaniel. So third position, Nelson Flores from the Chile. So Nacho will go into the requals along with Maximo Sina from the Basque Country.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very, very trying day for all the competitors, but luckily it was a non-elimination round for these riders. So you're going to see everybody once again, and we're all going to pray tonight to make sure that Mother Nature sends us some goods overnight so we can get a full day of Itacoatiara power for the last day or the final day of the event.
It'd be a really nice way to finish. So yeah, we're looking at a 6:30 start here tomorrow. It's going to be around about a 5 p.m. finish, which is just before dark, with a big presentation, reggae band on the stage. We're looking forward to a really nice finish to what has been a tricky kind of a forecast here for the Itacoatiara Pro.
Yes, thank you very much for tuning in. And you know what? Be ready. Keep your eyes on the APB Tour Facebook page. That's where you're going to get all the details for the start and pretty much everything you're going to need for everything that's going to come up tomorrow. So yeah, Teza, it's been amazing.
It has been a great first day. Again, sorry about the conditions, but we just have to do what we have to do sometimes. It's all part of being a professional bodyboarder or running a professional association. So on behalf of our CEO, Alex Leon, who's back there in Australia, of course, he's got a baby coming through soon, so that's going to be cool.
Yep.
Yeah, really nice stuff. So hi to Alex and Sarah and wish them all the best with that. My name's Tez McKenna. I've joined with Manny Vargas, and we've been having a great day hanging out with you. It's only going to get better tomorrow, so we look forward to seeing you then.
All right.
Ciao.
See you tomorrow.
Woo.
galera, eu sou do Pedra e hoje eu vou mostrar pra vocês minha rampa preferida.
A NET tem um super Wi-Fi, porque banda larga tem que ter novidade, emoção, tecnologia.
Ó, tem Wi-Fi até aqui, hein?
Assine NET, líder em ultra velocidade com Wi-Fi Plus, mais potente e com conexão mais rápida. Novidade, emoção, tecnologia, é NET.
A receita para ser campeão não é fácil. Acordar cedo, trabalhar duro, tentar uma, duas, muitas vezes, sair da zona de conforto e inovar. Pensando bem, para fazer cerveja, a gente segue a mesma receita. Conheça as nossas cervejas premiadas.